Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. And we are live, man. This is Set with Set and Comedian. I'm back with another one for y'all, man. Today we got a special one lined up because it gets pretty interesting, man. We get to see some black Democrats meltdown, and let's check in on this whole Trump shooting. Let's go.
Some breaking news that we want to get to right now, and that is this. I'm going to share with you some tweets right here as we're learning that multiple shots were fired at Trump National Golf Course. The Trump-Vance campaign saying that, quote, President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. No further details at this time. That's from Stephen Chung, who is the Trump campaign communications manager, learning a little bit more information from a reporter at Politico as she was sharing that this happened at the Trump National Golf Club in West Palm Beach, where Trump is golfing today. So we're working to gather additional information, but I did want to share that breaking news with you at 2:41 Eastern, 11:41 Pacific, as the Trump campaign has sent a statement saying that President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. No further details at this time. According to a political reporter, former President Trump was golfing at the Trump National Golf Club in West Palm Beach. No further details available at this hour, including who was firing the gunshots, whether that person was apprehended. We do know that former President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. And it's also unclear as to whether former President Trump was the target or whether gunshots were fired near him. However, I did want to share that breaking news with you as we continue to gather additional information. The Trump campaign communications director saying no further details at this time. However, sharing that President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. We're continuing to follow this breaking news very closely, hoping to learn more information from authorities and possibly from the Trump campaign itself as to exactly what unfolded. We do know that he is golfing today at his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida. It is unclear as to whether there were gunshots fired in the vicinity or actually at former President Trump. We do know that he is safe. So we did want to share that breaking news with you at this hour at 2:43 Eastern, 11.
So it does look like there's really nothing too much going on. It might have been for a whole nother reason, to be honest.
43 Pacific. We do know that he was taking time off from the campaign trail, going to go back on the campaign trail this coming week. Golfing on a Sunday, apparently, according to the political reporter, at his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida. There were multiple gunshots fired in that vicinity. We do know, according to the Trump campaign communications director, Stephen Chung, that former President Trump is safe following those gunshots. As soon as we get any additional information, we will bring that to you right here on Live Now from Fox. And we have this social media post from the New York Post, and I did want to bring that up to you once again as we continue to gather additional information at this hour. And you're going to be seeing that very latest post right there. It says there was a shooting reported at Donald Trump's golf club as the former president was leaving. That is according to the New York Post. I'm pulling up that article, and this is what it says, quote, the Secret Service is responding to a shooting near Donald Trump as he left his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, according to law enforcement sources. President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. No further details at this time. That's the statement from Trump spokesman Stephen Chung. Now, two people exchanged gunfire outside of Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. The shooters were targeting each other and the gunfire was not targeting Trump. That is according to sources from this New York Post article. Sources said that Trump was never in danger and that the shooting happened in an area outside the club that is known for high crime. It comes almost 2 months after Thomas Matthew Crooks shot Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, wounding him in the air.
Let's go.
So that is according to this New York Post article, as we are learning new details from this article. According to the article attributed to sources, it says that 2 people exchanged gunfire.
More and more information coming in by the second, man. So stay tuned. Make sure you like the video, man. Let's get more people in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all support. Let's go.
Outside of Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach, the shooters were targeting each other. The gunfire was not targeting former President Trump. Sources, according to the New York Post, said that Trump was never in danger and that the shooting happened in an area outside the club that is known for high crime. So we did want to share those details with you. This is from that article from the New York Post. We do have confirmation from the Trump spokesman, Stephen Chung, and you can see that the Trump campaign issuing that statement moments ago saying that President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity.
All right, but we also got news that, well, the suspect has, been apprehended. So let's get to that. Let's see how my man got apprehended.
Well, that's what we do here on as it happens in real time. And that's what we do here on Live Now from Fox, react to what's happening in real time as it happens. And I do want to put up some other images we're getting right now from
shooter near Trump's Mar-a-Lago, suspect apprehended on I-95.
The Martin County Sheriff's Office on Facebook. And I want to put these up of this potential suspect, the potential car that they pursued on I-95, as this was the post. What they wrote on social media said the northbound I-95 at 7:14 was shut down based on a bolo information released by Palm Beach County. The Martin County Sheriff's Office has stopped a vehicle, taking a suspect into custody, believed to be connected to a shooting incident at Trump International at Palm Beach County. We will update this information as it becomes available. You could see the amount of law enforcement shutting down I-95 in Florida, a main corridor of that in the Sunshine State. They have brought a person, as they say it, believed to be connected to a shooting incident at Trump International. And I do want to ask you, because you see these images coming in right now, Ken, of the law enforcement on hand. What do we make of this? What do we make of just the amount of force on this?
Because, bro, he had been somebody. They pulled up with the secret police. Like, at first, they didn't even want bro to know that they were onto him. So, yeah.
Pursue this. They
this was
say
some pretty
they are connected.
Well use of force.
Do we read into anything there?
So, this is a suspect that was involved in a shooting or a shooting in the vicinity of the former president. If a person is engaged in that type of shooting, they may be very well armed with other weapons in their vehicle. And so you see involving a potential shooting here of a president. So I'm not surprised to see this many cars involved. I'm not surprised to see this becoming such an incident. But, with this many law enforcement members involved. And this had gone out as a bolo to all law enforcement. So there's a lot of interest here and a lot of different police agencies working this. But now FBI and Secret Service will also have responded to this incident here, and they will be moving with the suspect to to either Secret Service or to FBI office or to local law enforcement. It's not clear where they're going to go to with this suspect to conduct their interview with them. But, it's not surprising to see.
All right, so they didn't really release the details yet. All right, let's see what political pundits are saying, because Candace, you know her, already alive, out about it already. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
Trump, I said, no way. My instinct was just to go, no way. Fake news. I'm not going to retweet this. I'm not going to share it, because I thought it was one of these, it was a trap. And they wanted conservatives to all start sharing it and be dramatic and say it's another assassination attempt.
Make sure to like the video, guys.
Like, oh, no, it was just a shooting nearby Trump. And
Hold on, we got over 100 y'all in here, man. Make sure to like the video. Go ahead and double tap that screen for me, man. Let's get more people in on the conversation. Appreciate the support. Let's go.
I kept refreshing, and some
Let's
people
get
were
it to
like,
10
yes,
likes. We got
Trump was
over
near
100
the
y'all in
shooting,
here.
but he wasn't involved in it. I just said, no way, I'm not going to share this. I also, in the back of my mind, said there's no way that we just did this episode on Friday where I signaled to the public that Trump was in danger. In fact, the episode was entitled Trump's Campaign is in Danger. And I talked about the last assassination attempt having been 62 days ago, which they have conveniently memory hold, which has made me suddenly recognize that these people are going to try to kill him again. They are not going to allow Donald Trump to be president. There's no way.
I mean,
very obvious what these people.
Alex Jones said the same thing, but he said, hey, they're going to try to car bomb him or whatever. Another shooting one? I don't know. I don't think this one is what they think it is. But
Want. These people want war, and Donald Trump is
Let's
not
hear
the
her
man
out.
for it. So I said, it just couldn't be that I did this episode on Friday. And fast forward to Sunday, and someone actually took another attempt on this man's life. And then I just thought it's just not plausible that they would be this brazen, that again, in broad daylight, they would try to shoot at Donald Trump. But guess what, guys? I was wrong. That is exactly what happened this time on a golf course. I'm going to give you all of the details, plus tell you what my suspicion is that you're not going to hear on the mainstream media because they're all so highbrow. Oh, we can't dabble into conspiracy unless it's about Iran. Let's all just put out there ahead of time that it's Iran, which unbelievably neocons are already doing. Has me super fired up.
Really?
That's what we have coming up on Candace.
hold on. So they're trying to say it's an Iranian shooter that was out there on Mar-a-Lago? Like, y'all, that's really what y'all trying to sell? That's hilarious. I ain't even gonna lie. It's messed up, but it does sound like a neocon spin. Like, hey, anything to get us into Iran, anything to get us boots in Iran for some reason.
All right, so let's just start with the details here. In case you didn't know, President Trump owns a golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he was golfing there today. He had planned to golf with his buddy, a billionaire, who raised a ton of money for him, named Steve Witkoff. At about the fifth hole, so the story goes, 4 shots rang out. Our understanding right now is that those shots were actually fired.
And we got 300 y'all plus in here, man. Make sure to double tap that screen, man, and like the video with the 3 dots up there in the corner. We appreciate the support, man. We're going to go ahead and cover this story live on air. We got more for y'all, man. Let's go. We're going to have a good show tonight.
From Trump's Secret Service team, who
Double tap that
spotted a
screen.
man with a gun in the clearing. Saw a man actually lining up a shot with a scope on Donald Trump. They jumped on Trump to secure the area. And I'm going to actually kick it here to Sean Hannity, who is pretty lucky because he was supposed to have been golfing with Donald Trump. He turned it down, and then he heard this update. It looks like he spoke with both Donald Trump and Steve Witkoff, who was accompanying him. Take a listen to what Sean Hannity had to say about that.
Anyway, so long story short is President Trump, they were on the 5th hole. They were about to go up to putt. And the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning. And I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and get killed out there. But long story short, so they were playing, they were on the 5th hole. And the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were. I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. They identified it as an AK-47. And thanks to Secret Service drone video coverage, they were able to identify one individual involved in this shooting getting into a car after dropping the AK-47.
Okay.
And
Okay, so let's pull out of here. What is the first thing that jumps at you when you hear that story? Because for me, I just went, how did they know that Trump was golfing.
I
Trump
mean,
has not put that out public.
I don't know. They're like, hold on. Like, had they yet to confirm that shots was fired at Trump? Were the bullets going in Trump's direction? Was this an actual assassination attempt, or was this just a coincidence of somebody, doing some gang activity, out there in Mar-a-Lago? They did say, I think they said it was in a low poverty area, I believe. So I'm gonna look a little bit more into that one.
Publicly. This was not some part of his schedule, which was announced to the public. So this means that this individual had insider information. In fact, Trump had just flown in from the West Coast because he was doing events out in Utah. And suddenly he's golfing. He's got plans to golf with Steve Witkoff and potentially some other buddies who turned him down, like Sean Hannity. And this individual not only knew
and we got identification. Trump would-be assassin ID'd as Ryan Routh, 58 of Hawaii. What, an Hawaiian citizen? Really? Okay, where's this coming out of? And let's see here. It's coming out of Hawaiian. Where's wine coming out of? It's Florida. So yeah, Florida News is pretty much telling us that they have already identified the guy. His name is Ryan Roth, 58 of Hawaii. Do they have a picture of this man? Because if they do, I'll bring him up on stream.
Donald Trump was golfing, but knew that he would be coming up upon the fifth hole. Because according to AP News, and I have not been to this particular golf club, I don't golf, but apparently that is actually a vulnerable spot in terms of security. So this person had insider knowledge, okay, that Trump was going to be golfing on that morning, that specific time that Donald Trump was going to be golfing, okay? They knew he would be coming upon the fifth hole, and they were familiar with the layout, and knew that the fifth hole was a vulnerable spot. Instantly, this signals to me that this individual was in contact with somebody on the inside. That's the conspiracy you're not allowed to say. I don't care. I don't believe in conspiracies, okay? I'm a Catholic. I believe in providence, okay? This person knew that Donald Trump was going to be a sitting duck and was hoping that no one would spot him through the clearing as he began to set up for a shot on President Trump. So what happened thereafter? Yes, it has been confirmed that the AK-47, it's being alleged it's an AK-47, definitely a semi-automatic rifle of some description, plus a GoPro camera has been recovered. Apparently, the shooter also had a backpack, and he had laid these things out. And I can actually show you this photo of his backpack, and then you can see another bag. He laid it onto the fence. Once the Secret Service spotted him, and like I said, it sounds like the Secret Service were the ones who fired the 4 shots, he then put down his semi-automatic rifle, jumped
okay, so let's see here. According to Chi-Fi, and that's Chi-Fi is the news that's coming out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They're pretty much saying that, and I'm telling you this right now, they're pretty much saying our guy, what's his name, Mr. Roth? Yes. What's his name? Mr. Ryan. Yeah, we're calling Ryan Roth. Yeah. He pretty much, he expresses support for President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. So this is a Biden supporter that was around the vicinity, possibly shooting at Trump. I don't know if they would shoot, if he was actually shooting at Trump. Hopefully they let us know that in this coverage, please.
To an awaiting Nissan, okay? So this guy had an exit plan. He also had a GoPro. This signals to me that he was going to record in some capacity him having killed Trump. Why would he be doing that? Who was he going to send that to? Whose instructions was he operating on when he did this? And then he was ready to get away in a Nissan, okay? They were able to, just as you heard Sean Hannity describe, quickly apprehend the suspect, which is a good thing. The Martin County Sheriff Willie.
Nope, the would-be assassin, or this so-called person that was around when in Trump's place, he is a Democrat. He is a supporter of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And I'm not really putting that on them. I'm just saying this was being confirmed all across the news. Like, it's being confirmed right now that yes, Ryan Roth is a Democrat.
William Snyder, a county sheriff,
make sure to like the
Snyder
video.
Told the news station.
We got over 700 of y'all in here, man. Make sure to go ahead and double tap that screen. Let's get more people in on this conversation. Or if you can't, just get the 3 dots up there in the corner. Just like the video, man. Let's go.
That the suspect was taken into custody without the firearm, obviously, because he left it on the side. And they obviously knew that they had the right guy because when they arrested him, he didn't have any emotion. So that's completely crazy. You get pulled over, they've got guns trained on you, and this guy had absolutely no emotion. Take a
Stone
listen.
cold. No way.
We whisked nobody away. There was a lone driver in the vehicle. That driver is now in custody in the hands of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
What was his demeanor, Sheriff, when you approached the car?
The suspect's demeanor I would describe as having a relatively calm, flat, affected.
Yes, he
not
did.
Displaying a lot of emotion. Never asked what is this about. Obviously, law enforcement with long rifles, blue lights, a lot going on. Never questioned it.
Was he armed at the time, or he or she?
He was not armed when we took him out of the car. Of course, we didn't do a search, and I would suspect that they're getting a search warrant now. The FBI will take that car. We will transport it for them back to Palm Beach County into their office.
So what's also interesting is how lucky they got, and truly this is
Yeah.
a story of what the media typically tries to term a Karen. I've kind of embraced that. Somebody who saw something weird and instantly recorded down the guy's license plate, saw him emerging from the trees, thought he looked suspicious, and was able to give this information over. Like, quite literally, a bystander is the one that was able to crack this very quickly. I'm going to pass this over to a clip. Sheriff
Really?
Rick Bradshaw came out and did a press conference and described exactly how they were able to apprehend the suspect so quickly. Take a listen.
1:30 this afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey.
Okay. Can anybody in the chat confirm? Did they shoot at Trump, or what? Did they just, or did bro just have a, like, you know, he just had the gun out, heavily armed in the vicinity of Trump? And what type of gun did he have? Okay, no, they said, I know what he had. They said he had an AK-47. Now, was he close enough to hit Trump?
I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag.
Damn.
Which was great.
My man.
We had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers, and we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
And remember, yes, the guy is named Ryan Routh, so R-O-U-T-H. So South, yeah, with an R, so Ryan Routh. 58, he lived in North Carolina for most of his life, moved to Hawaii in 2008, where him and his son operated a building shed company. You know, according to the archives that they received. Now, Roth did, this man, he did post on social media about the Ukraine war and had a website where he sought to raise money and recruit volunteers to go to Kiev to join the fight against the Russian invasion. In 2020, he made a post on X directed at then President Donald Trump to say he would win re-election if he issued an executive order for the Justice Department to prosecute police misconduct. However, in recent years, his post suggested he kind of soured on Donald Trump, and he expressed support for President Joe Biden and, Kamala Harris. And like I said, this is coming out of Fort Lauderdale. It's Chi-I-F-I, so Chi-Fi News. And it's leaning in the central, it's more central. So they don't lean too far right, they don't lean too far left. They're right in the middle.
After that, we took the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
It's unbelievable. And again, credit obviously to the police force for being able to apprehend the suspect so quickly, but this would not have happened without this anonymous person who immediately sprung into action, decided to record this person's license plate. Now, who is this person? Who are we talking about? Well, don't let the neocons tell you, because before we even got a name, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, they were already trying to float Iran. I just want to be very clear. I hate neocons. I hate them. I hate them so much that hate doesn't even seem to be the right description of how I feel about these people. Like, it's not deep enough. It's all they care about is driving us into a war. And by the way, that is the bigger picture here. This is about getting us involved in a global war that has already been planned, which is why no matter what happens, they just say it's a...
Yeah, it's confirmed. Everything I just read off about that guy has been confirmed by even AP News. It's being confirmed from the left, the right, and the central leaning like news publications. This is now a fact. Yes, 58, working in Cal. He was born in North Carolina, moved to Hawaii. He somehow, for some reason, got caught up in this whole Ukrainian war, and he wants to go ahead and raise money and get people over there to help the Ukrainians. And he used to support Trump. He's got sour to Trump because I guess something that I guess he didn't agree with some policy Trump was falling on. And then he expressed his support for Joe Biden and Kamala. This does not matter, honestly, because it matters. Why the hell is he trying to shoot at them?
It's Iran. Because there are plans for Iran, and all they need to do is to have something happen that puts the American people on their side. That makes the American people go, yes, rah, 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 let's go to war with Iran. So before anybody was named, they were already floating how likely it is that this was Iran. Before we get to it, let me tell you a little bit about the suspect, okay? So the suspect's name is Ryan Wesley Ruth. This photo was floating on X earlier today. People were saying it looked to be about a 6-year-old man, and people were going, oh, we don't know if it's the right photo. It checks out, actually. You just can't tell that he does actually have like a white-gray goatee. Ryan Wesley Ruth, what we know about him so far, and obviously this information is all just coming out, he's a 58-year-old who is from Hawaii, pardon me. He is the person that authorities are now naming as the individual who pointed that rifle with a scope at former President Donald Trump. Now, his LinkedIn, everyone's obviously crawling the internet, and thankfully, as I said, they were able to apprehend and name him so quickly. And I think credit be to the fact that this happened in Florida, which is DeSantis' state, and so we're not going to get these like liberal games of trying to hide all the information and wait to be forthcoming, and it allows people to instantly hit the web and dig up everything that we can, because we have a right to know everything. We don't need to wait for agencies like the FBI and the CIA, who we don't trust, to tell us the information. We want to be able to look this up ourselves. What has thus far come out, and by the way, guys, take everything with a grain of salt. We're obviously in the midst of this investigation right now. But as LinkedIn appears to show...
That's what I said too. At the beginning, I even said too, it's like, bro, I don't even know, like, if it was confirmed that he was shooting at him. It's like, but they, they round him up, they arrested him, they said he looked emotionless. They're breaking down his entire life right before us. So, yeah, I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. It's looking a little factual right now, but yeah.
Man attended North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, but relocated to Hawaii sometime around 2018. It is also showing us that he is the owner of a company called Camp Box Honolulu, which is a shed building company with very few positive reviews, and he has not posted on his...
We got over 1,000 of y'all in here. Oh, God, let's get the likes up, man. We need to get the like. Go ahead and double tap that screen. 3 dots up there, man. I need to see at least 50 likes. Boom, boom. That's all you got to do. Double tap that screen.
Account in about a year.
Appreciate
we are looking at an account that does appear to be his. He frequently criticizes politicians, including Trump, current President Joe Biden, and celebrities as well, like Bruno Mars. Many of his replies don't seem to make any sense. He's even directed some insults toward X's owner, Elon Musk, in which he seemed to have entertained purchasing a rocket from the billionaire rather nonsensibly. He wrote, quote, "I would like to buy a rocket from you. I wish to load it with a warhead for Putin's Black Sea mansion bunker to end him. Damn. Can you give me a price, please? Well, it can be old and used as not returning," he wrote. He also visited Kiev and claimed that he would be willing to fight on the front lines if he were permitted to. Now, a lot of his public postings seem to be aimed at the Ukraine-Russian border dispute, and he's very pro.
All right, so this is of course, white man and all this good stuff. Well, duh. I am willing to, no offense, my white friends, but come on now. For some reason, it's always y'all. Like, God damn it. But hey, at least it wasn't an Iranian. I am willing to fly the car and go to the border of Ukraine to volunteer and fight and die will. Like, what? Like, bro, come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Somewhat deranged based on his
throwing away
postings.
your
Here
life,
is
G.
another post that he wrote on X. I am willing to fly to Krakow and go to the border of Ukraine to volunteer and fight and die. Will I be able to cross to the border to fight without a visa? Every citizen around the globe should be running to Ukraine to fight. Can I be the example? We must win. Okay, that is a mental derangement. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's not a mental derangement that just came to him as he was walking down the street. That's a mental derangement that was provided to him by the mainstream media, by the warmongers, by the neocon class. The obsession that they had with trying to attach Americans to the idea that our freedom somehow depends on this regional conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Okay? So he's bit.
Bro,
He's bit.
I keep saying, bro, if Putin was to take Ukraine, bro, it doesn't mean anything. I promise you. Like, we're kind of villainizing. Oh, then he's going to start taking everybody else. No, he won't. He just don't want Ukraine to be part of NATO, and he's willing to take Ukraine to the shore that. That's just what it is. And anybody else who's hyping it up, that's fear-mongering. You're not being factual about what Putin's ambitions really are with Ukraine. We all know, but we just don't want to admit it.
Believes that somehow he must offer to sacrifice his own life, okay, to go out there and to defend Ukraine's borders. Again, that is a mental derangement that was created by the mainstream media in collusion with the neocons, the war class. And this is significant stuff. I don't want to ignore his near obsession with Ukraine. This could be a clue, by the way, in terms of why he is not happy with Trump. As I spoke about literally on our Friday episode, Trump is not keen on the Ukraine war, and that is a problem for the war class. That is a problem for the military-industrial complex because they have plans to invade Russia, okay? Wake up. This is not a conspiracy. They are obsessed with going to war with two countries, and that is Russia and Iran.
Yep.
Okay. Russia and Iran. They keep trying to get our psyche there to believe that for some reason we have to go fight in these foreign territories, and they're having difficulty this time around. Okay. Their usual game of psychologically conditioning us to believe that we're fighting to spread democracy. It's not working. It's not working. In fact, this morning I tweeted, Ukraine, Zelensky's a Bolshevik. He's mass murdering Christians, and now he is sending priests and abbots to the front lines. So I don't care about Ukraine at all. I want to be very clear. And I harbor a lot of disgust for this neocon class who keeps pushing this on the public, making them believe that somehow we are attached to this foreign nation that has nothing to do with America, that has always been a laundromat for the military-industrial complex. That is what Ukraine is. Now, I'm not saying this, by the way, because I mean to insult the Ukrainian people.
I mean, to be honest, Ukraine just needs surrender. That's all they need to do. They just need to go ahead, stop accepting funding, or we need to stop funding them. And because think about it, this is all to fund the military-industrial complex. It's not about helping Ukraine. It's about helping our pockets. And that's all it is. Like, bro, if we really cared about Ukrainians, why are we supporting them fighting a stronger power? Like, where did in anybody's mind did we think that small Ukraine could beat big Russia, one of the major powers in the world? Like, where in our mind did we think this? That's what I'm wondering.
Okay.
Like, why do we support this thinking that Russia was losing? Like, come on now.
For them that they have a Bolshevik dictator that is dragging their sons to die with crosses around their neck, putting them into vehicles as they scream against their will that they don't want to die. I don't know who they're clearing the space for. But I can tell you that war is on the menu, and Trump is not a willing participant in that. He showed that in the debate when he was asked about Ukraine. You guys, if you can, if it's easy, I'm just talking to my team right now, to pull that clip of when he was asked about Ukraine and he sort of danced around the question. He did that during the debate with Kamala Harris. If we get that clip, we will throw it in here. And that began trending. Trump seems unsure about the Ukrainian war. Trump doesn't seem like he thinks that we should really be in there, okay? That was the thing that clued me. That was the thing that I zeroed in on when my hunch and my suspicion on Friday was something's off here, okay? Something's not right. I believe that Trump's campaign has been infiltrated. I'm going to explain that to you, my theory on that at length. But first, I want to show you what Trump said. I'm
Too many holes in security.
Reactions on social media. First, let's see what Trump said via Truth Social. He wrote this: there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. Great. I'm very happy that that is how he feels. He said, I will always love you and for supporting me. Unity, peace, make America great again. May God bless you. He sent that out as an alert. He also posted this onto his socials. And it is good to hear that he is in good spirits, having survived a second assassination attempt. This is the second assassination attempt on his life. Okay. Like I said, I don't care what anybody in the mainstream, oh, let's wait for details. No, okay? All of you are colluding to cover these assassination attempts, to make us believe that these are lone shooters who have lost their minds and not that these people are being given instructions. You're asking us to rely on the very agencies who have been involved in murdering presidents in the past. I am speaking clearly and plainly about JFK, okay?
Okay, come on now.
Obviously, he was murdered by the state. Obviously. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there because we all know it. It's so stupid that people dance around it and call it a conspiracy theory, knowing that the first time that conspiracy theory entered the American lexicon, oh, yeah, the CIA drummed up that term after JFK was murdered, and they wanted people to stop asking questions, and they put journalists on payroll, and that operation was called Operation Mockingbird to convince the public, nothing to see here, just your regular old president being shot in broad daylight in Dallas. That is the reality. People have to wake up about the reality of what we are fighting because it is real evil. It is real evil, and it is targeting Trump. And I don't think that he is wise.
Yeah, ain't gonna lie. Kennedy was messing with forces he did not know he was messing with. He was like low-key pushing on people, pressuring people with that. Let's be real. Then low-key could get him out the way, and we didn't even know. And it's kind of scary how there's people kind of within our government or foreign entities, even outside our government, that can get rid of a president.
To it. I really don't believe that he is wise to it. I think he thinks the people surrounding him are his friends. I'm not sure if in Trump's mind right now, he's going, hey, how did this person know that I was golfing? Everyone should be questioned. I'm not saying everyone is guilty, but I'm saying everyone should be questioned.
No, for real.
Because who knows? Maybe somebody was able to get a hold of not Trump's schedule, but Steve Witkoff's schedule. Maybe it's someone that Steve Witkoff is friends with that he doesn't even know that he gave this information to, that shared it with someone. Everyone needs to be forthcoming. Every single person needs to be investigated because, as I said, nobody in the public had that information, okay? So a small circle of people would have known that Trump was golfing on this morning. Highly doubt that this person just sits outside of that golf club. Trump is usually at Mar-a-Lago. It's not usually at this golf club in West Palm. Okay, this person's not just sitting out there going, maybe Trump will golf today, and I'll just sit here with my AK-47 at this fifth hole. Maybe he'll just no, that's not a reality. Yeah. In fact, I would actually like to see when the last time it is that Trump even golfed at that location. This is a guy that's traveling all around the United States nonstop. He is campaigning. This person knew again that he would be here. Now, Kamala Harris.
So dang, is there somebody inside Trump's camp that's trying to get him taken out? Because at this point, they're damn near counting this as a second attempt. This will be the second attempt on Trump's life in less than a year, and man, it's kind of crazy. So you tell me one guy goes to AK-47, the other guy hit the AR-15. Now the problem is, was he in the vicinity to hit Trump with that, or was he just tripping? Like, what was going on here?
Has issued this statement. She said, I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I'm glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America. Yeah, okay. Oh, so much effort went into that. Oh, I've been briefed on reports. She meant that he survived. I'm glad. Thumbs up. Violence has no place in America. I mean, you can just feel how forced that statement is. Like, there is no shock. On now. You can tell that there's nothing in there that indicates that she's being authentic. I've been briefed. I don't care if you've been briefed. Why don't you actually say something with a little bit of passion behind it to show that you truly are not okay with violence? Not this copy and paste statement that everybody makes.
A publicist statement.
That has no substance and no meaning. What do I have to say? What's the thing I have to say? Oh, I have to say violence has no place in America. Okay, violence has no place in America. Am I good? That's how it feels. Joe Biden, crickets. I don't know if he's asleep. I don't know if he's dead. We've yet to see anything. We are refreshing and checking to see if our current president, Joe Biden, has anything to say. And again, he just likely has not come to, so we'll park that aside. I want to show you this tweet because I just couldn't believe it. It's like, are these people on a text chain, the neocons, the warmongering class? It's unbelievable. Look at this tweet from journalist Yashar Ali. He says, this is before we got the name of the shooter, so I can tell you that. So this is like, they're already getting the narrative out there. I just want to address something up front, as it's understandably being brought up regarding the AK-47 incident at Trump's golf course.
Okay.
A reminder, we don't yet know who is behind this incident. However, we do know that the Islamic Republic of Iran seeks revenge on former President Trump and has hired and attempted to hire agents to assassinate him, or at the very least cause chaos and destabilize him. While the Islamic Republic of Iran and its intelligence agencies can be sophisticated in certain...
Well, yo, so they're really trying to take out Trump and spin it on Iran no matter what. Take out Trump, spin it on Iran. That is what they're really trying to do. Okay. I see, but like, I don't get it. These neocons and wanting beef with Russia and Iran is crazy. It's like, think about it. It's anti-Putin to a point where we're mad that Trump want to work things out with Putin when he should want to work things out with him. Like, why do we want to smoke with some of these people who have, well, I'm gonna be real, they may not have as much nukes, but they got enough.
Ways, the notion that they operate in a James Bond-like world of precision and perfection is false. They routinely fail at assassination attempts and bungle other efforts to undermine their enemies. This does not make the threat any less serious, but I've heard from people over the past hour that it couldn't be related to the Islamic Republic of Iran because it was just some random guy with a weapon who fled when the Secret Service confronted him. The Islamic Republic, like many authoritarian regimes, prefers to hire thugs and criminals to do its bidding. It's not going to send a highly trained sniper from its own military to assassinate someone. For example, they've tried to hire drug dealers in the past. They've also hired members of Eastern European criminal gangs. Masih Alinad, the Iranian women's rights advocate and journalist, had a man found outside her home in his car with an AK-47, and he was arrested after behaving suspiciously. This man was operating as an agent for Iran. Not exactly James Bond-style work here. Bottom line, stop attributing competence to these operations simply because they involve a state actor. It's just incredible. Here's what I want to say. It's amazing. They call us the conspiracy theorists, right? Like, they really believe that they are going to condition the public to be on board with their already planned war in Iran. That's what they believe. That every incident, they're going to come to us with something this effing ridiculous and stupid, right? Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna be real with you. The citizens, like, in my honest belief, that there's like not really too many citizens that have that neocon belief that, oh yeah, we need to go to war with Russia and Iran. There's not really too much citizens that's on that because, well, one, if you're a man, well, you're going to be fighting that. So, you know, good luck with that. Good luck with that. If that's what you really believe, just remember, you're going to be the first one on the front line. I hope you're ready. But most citizens are kind of like, yeah, is there a way we can work this out without having to fight them? There gotta be. There just gotta be.
It's West Palm Beach. And I know the pictures that are floating around look like this guy is maybe not in eight.
And shout out, man, droning in the scenery, man. Neocons won World War III, man. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't right. You right. You right. They do. No, they really do. They just want everything to pop off so they can make all the money. And it's like, it's such a sick thing because, like, okay, you make all this money at the risk of the world being destroyed, or at the risk of even themselves being destroyed or ending up in poverty. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're doing this, but like what? So y'all can make money for 10 years straight, and then what? The whole world's going after that, or most of the population's been decimated, and then after that, I guess we finally get that Bill Gates vision, huh?
Agent of an Islamic Republic, but he could be. I just want you to know
depopulation.
He's not the only person that put this out that immediately wanted the American public to believe.
Appreciate you droning in the scenery, man. Appreciate you.
And, you know, in many ways, I anticipated that. I didn't think they would do it this quickly because I understand that we don't have an option here, okay? These people want war by any means necessary. And the means by which they are willing to undertake are to assassinate President Donald Trump. That is on their agenda, to assassinate President Donald Trump because he is inconvenient. He is in their way. J.D. Vance tweeted this. I want to point this out, obviously, because he's running with Trump. He wrote, "I'm glad President Trump is safe. I spoke to him before the news was public, and he was amazingly in good spirits. Still much we don't know, but I'll be hugging my kids extra tight tonight and saying a prayer of gratitude." Okay, guys, I really want to have an honest discussion about who it is that wants Trump dead. Because we all know who it is, and I am just annoyed watching people theorize and say stupid things when I've been telling you, as I did on Friday, exactly who it is that wants Trump dead. So we're going to talk about that right after this brief message from one of our sponsors.
So, according to Candace, she's pretty much going to say it's either the neocons that want him dead because he don't want to rush into war. You know, Trump is pro-peace. One thing we know about Trump's whole presidency is that he says war is bad for business. It's not good. I'd rather negotiate. It's better that we just work things out on the business side. And it worked well for us. But when there are people in our government like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris who literally won't talk to these people, won't really work no negotiation out. Because let's be real, Joe Biden could have forced Ukraine to negotiate with Russia and they worked something out. Putin was willing to negotiate peace. Canceled. It's like, what are we really doing here? So when Candace says that, I think there's really people in our government that want Trump dead, I could believe, the neocons, I could believe that because they're getting in the way of the war. He gets away of the war that they want. Now, the way Kamala Harris's policies work, she didn't even talk to Putin. And if you're not talking about the main problem in this conflict, the person that could low-key wipe out Ukraine the next day if he wanted to, then there's something wrong here.
Prayer Challenge will take you through short daily sessions over the next 2 weeks with an all-star lineup of spiritual leaders and guests giving you all of the essentials to creating a rich prayer life. They'll teach you how to pray through scripture, how to do imaginative prayer, how to incorporate prayers that have been around for centuries, and so much more. You'll get a new guide every day, and some of the guides include Father Mike Schmitz, Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus in The Chosen, Mark Wahlberg, and many others. The only way that we can get through these crazy times was back in 2000.com, which is getting closer to God, and prayer is the best way to do that. So download the Hallow app for free.
Yeah, make sure you pray, chat. Make sure you pray in these crazy times.
Here, and it turns out that Ryan Wesley Ruth was interviewed from Newsweek Romania, and we have a...
Man, and shout out, man, to Stallion XY3, man. We appreciate you. Deception is the M.O. of the devil. Candace is spitting facts. Deceive the mass and bad things happen. Yeah, when you deceive the majority of the people and people aren't moving with factual information, they do things with good, they do things thinking that they have I'm going to say this. The road to evil is paved with good intentions. So if you can go ahead and deceive the mass and make them seem like, oh, I'm doing this for good. I'm going for the good of the people. When you're really committing evil, then yeah, this is where the bad things happen. Like when we get forced into wars thinking that we're doing it for good, and then we turn out it's all a lie, and we really committing evil, and now it's like, oh, we thought we was giving out justice, but really we were just handing out profits to certain companies and, fulfilling certain agendas. But appreciate the super chat, Stallion. I really do. Stallion?
Clip of him being interviewed. So let's take a listen to Ryan Wesley Ruth in his own words from back in 2022.
Tell me who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally. So live in Hawaii
deception
now,
is the main
so
objective.
all the way from Hawaii here. So
being interviewed. So let's take a listen to Ryan Wesley Ruth in his own words from back in 2022.
Okay.
Tell me who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally. So live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, you know, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, you know, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, you know, we all move forward as one collective whole unit. So, you know, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit, and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country.
Nah, it's not that Russia don't want to join us in that. It's that for some reason we don't keep our promises when it comes to Russia. We promised Russia that Ukraine won't be in NATO, and what will we do? We try to finesse Ukraine in NATO, and we mad that Putin put his foot down? Come on now.
That does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
So to be clear, he is sitting down with Newsweek because he was recruiting volunteers for the International Legion, bringing up the values involved in supporting Ukraine. Again, somebody radicalized. Now, if you are the deep state and you are paying attention to these sorts of things, people that believe this, right, committing themselves so much they're willing to fly halfway around the world to commit their lives to recruiting people into this war. This is a perfect person for you to attempt to radicalize further, because he's already a radical. He's already a radical, okay? It's already insane. What he is doing, what he is speaking about is completely insane, and he has been radicalized by the mainstream media narrative, okay? The same mainstream media narrative that made a bunch of Americans who can't even point out where Wisconsin is on the map, okay, suddenly commit to putting a Ukrainian flag in their bio. A Ukrainian flag, which they would have never known the colors of had they had not been radicalized by the mainstream media. They would not have known if their Apple icons didn't automatically complete to tell them which color and which flag it was specifically. The same Americans who still bear that flag in their bios and cannot point to Ukraine on a map, okay? That is how mass psychosis events are created by the mainstream media. They did this. They attempted this years ago, and many people fell for this. I was not one of these people. I believe Zelensky is evil. I believe he's a homosexual, evil man.
Goddamn.
Who is little more than an actor doing the bidding of evil state actors who think that we're supposed to be foolish enough to just accept Putin evil. Therefore, let's jump into World War III. I'm not buying that. You want to call me a Putin stooge? I don't care. Okay? I'm not walking in to World War III because of Western propaganda. So again, we have that clue. He is radicalized by Ukraine. Who is it that wants Trump dead? Why do they want Trump dead? We spoke about this on Friday. We're going to speak about it again. Okay? Let's go back and revisit that debate moment when Trump was asked about Ukraine. Take a listen.
Okay.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's way worse in Ukraine than you thought. Like, bro, these people are getting decimated. I mean, they're not winning by any means. By any means is Ukraine winning. They're literally getting decimated. Zelensky's just literally pushing his people into the slaughter. Allegedly, supposedly, reportedly. And the only reason I can only say that is because you can't really get too crazy when you talk about Ukraine. I want y'all to look up something. I want y'all to look up YouTube policies, right? And you can see even under YouTube policies, they try to kind of shut people up about, Ukraine and what's really going on there, what Zelensky is really doing, or the true numbers that are really happening in Ukraine, which are that, does anybody with a right mind under it, anybody with a, clear thinking head think that Ukraine's winning? Like, do we still have people like that in the chat?
Look, we're in for $250 billion or more. because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president...
My bad. Yeah, but it's been confirmed by ABC and Times Now, and also, let's see, the Hindustan Times, that yes, the ABC whistleblower that alleged that the Harris versus Trump debate was rigged died in a car crash. So yes, and he was supposed to go to fact check his claims, and he ended up dying in a car crash, or met his demise in a car crash before he can even get there. It is crazy what they'll do, bro. It was crazy what they will do.
Mr. President.
That doesn't know he's alive.
Your time is up. Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to... Wrong answer, President Trump. That, my friend, is how you get yourself shot. Not because you were not telling the truth. Yes, we are playing with World War III, but they're not playing. They have decided that they want to go to World War III. That is planned. And when you get up there and you say, no, we're not doing that, I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to negotiate an end to this, you are getting in the way of the most evil cabal of people whose plans you accidentally interrupted back in 2016. Like I said on Friday's episode, their candidate, the neocons, the war class and military-industrial complex, was Hillary Clinton. Okay? The Never Trump movement, they got on board. The fake conservatives pretending that they were actually conservative, but just morally had to get behind Hillary Clinton. No, it was because then, way back then, they had decided that they wanted to go to war with Iran and Ukraine. And Russia. Okay? Russia, Russia, Russia. They kept throwing that at Trump all the time because Russia was already on their agenda, as was Iran. Hillary Clinton was supposed to be president for the next 4 years, and Hillary Clinton has never met a war that she didn't like, okay? She's a murderer for all intents and purposes because of all of the slaughters and wars and deaths that you can directly attribute to her time as Secretary of State, okay? Think about Gaddafi. Think about her laughing hysterically. Okay, these people love war. There is a bloodlust amongst the elite class. Their families are enriched by war. You have another layer of people who just love the money that they make from war. War is a way for them, people who can't create anything, who just steal and rob, to reset. These people want a global reset. What better way to do it than after a world war? What happens after a world war? You redraw boundaries. You decide that this country is now 10 times bigger. This one is 10 times smaller. You smash their economy, okay? You get them on a debt system. You say, you're going to play with us. We're the dollar. You do that when things aren't going your way. You can't do things the right way, so you do them the wrong way.
Oh, man, that sounds like something that happened to a country in World War II. Damn, ain't that crazy? And in World War I, really. Oh, that sounds like a certain country I know. What's it? Oh, yeah, Germany. Yeah, that happened. That's what exactly happened to Germany. Ain't that crazy? The anti-German propaganda and all this crazy stuff. And then us getting pulled into it through Winston Churchill. So, yes. Not saying that we didn't need to, Hitler and all that good stuff. But, and it does sound like World War I and II.
All you have to do is have bigger guns. You have to be willing to go to war. You have to be willing to be immoral. You have to be willing to be satanic. You have to be willing and have a lust for children and innocent women and children dying. And to be very clear, these people do. Okay? So that was the wrong answer. That signaled to them that Trump is not keen on World War III. He therefore must be eliminated. And they knew this. They knew this. Okay? They're not going to wait another 4 years for World War III. Right? They've already begun it. The first step, as Trump is letting you know, was for this little back forth between Ukraine and Russia. The reason for that was because NATO wanted to expand into his territory. They're pretending he's just, he wants to take over the world. No, don't be an idiot. Russia has a smaller GDP than California. NATO is creeping into his territory.
Yep.
NATO is poking the bear.
Yep.
Because NATO, hey, that's us, the West, wants war with Russia. That is the reality. Don't care. Call me a Putin puppet. You've already done it. Because I see things clearly. I see what's actually happening, and I see exactly why it is that they want Trump gone. Now, who am I speaking about? Well, I don't think Trump has wised up to the fact that it is the people that are around him that want this war. He doesn't understand it. He thinks he can contain this by saying, well, I'm okay with this conflict. I'm okay with that conflict. He doesn't understand that they want somebody like Nikki Haley, okay? Nikki Haley is high on war, okay? This woman was snorting lines of Ukraine and Israel for breakfast when she was running. That woman spoke more about Ukraine and Israel on stage than she spoke about America. That is what they need. They need a candidate that is going to say, no matter what, do whatever you need, take as much money as you want, enslave the American economy forever. Let's go to war. And she was supposed to be their candidate. But Donald Trump forgot to.
Think about it. We've been beefing with Russia, with the whole Ukraine-Russia situation, been going on since the Obama administration. Bro, it ain't just pop off in 2020. No, this stuff happened in the Obama administration when we took out a pro-Russian leader and switched him out for Zelensky, who was anti-Russian. This is where we effed up in Ukraine, and we had our hands in Ukraine like ever since.
Die 64 days ago when he was on stage.
Yeah, man, God.
And a lone shooter shot at him. He forgot to die. He turned his head. That wasn't their plan. He was supposed to be dead. Do we have that? Do we have that video of Trump getting shot
We see
in
something
Q?
that said, take a look at what happened.
You said again?
Donald Trump was supposed to die. You were supposed to watch him bleed out, okay? No, what was going to happen was...
No, trust me. If that would have hit target, I mean, bro, we'd have watched the man's head deflate on live television. I'm gonna be real with you. That's how crazy it would have been. If that bullet would have hit Trump, I'm talking about a pop.
They were going to tell you a perfect story about why that person, as every camera was trained on him. Cameras that hadn't even been
If
there.
you really
Cameras that
found
don't
out
even
how they got
normally
Kennedy,
broadcast.
man,
Donald
trust me.
Trump's rallies were all
was bad.
broadcasting that day, miraculously. So people were supposed to watch him die and then feel fury. And then what was going to happen? They were going to tell us that Iran did it. Maybe they're going to tell us that Russia did it. Maybe, but I think they told us afterwards, well, we were hearing that Iran wanted to do this. And don't forget, he killed Soleimani, so it makes sense that they traveled out here to Pennsylvania, to Butler, Pennsylvania, and put this random kid on a roof who was once in a commercial for BlackRock and whatever. His parents are involved in the psychologist community. But I'm sorry, just accept the narrative that this was done by Iran. You don't believe me? And that Americans are supposed to be on board. Yes. I just watched President Trump die. I'm on board with war. And lo and behold, Nikki Haley had announced, Nikki Haley, who had just recently dropped out of the race and ceded to Trump, had announced that she was going to speak at the RNC. Right before this, she announced she was going to speak at the RNC. And what was going to happen? Well, if Trump was shot and had actually died, it was going to be an open convention.
Oh, hold on.
Which means they were going to be able to pick. And of course, it would have just made sense that they picked the candidate that was just behind Trump. And that candidate was Nikki Haley. So again, he was supposed to be dead. Nikki Haley would have then been forced as the nominee. Nikki Haley, who was snorting lines of Ukraine and Israel and war, would have been the Republican nominee. And then they would have...
Now you got to understand, there is a shadow government that is pushing war in our country. It's trying to get us to go to war with Iran. It's trying to get us to go to war with Russia. Here's the thing, though. I'm not really sure about the Russian part because I'm like, bro, if Russia really did something to Ukraine, really just, let's just say they just stop playing around. They just I just say bombard them with missiles. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to sit there and be like, well, we lost. Our bad. We shouldn't have told them that. Because are we really going to go to war with Russia? I mean, like, what sense does that make? And especially not over Ukraine. Now, if they can frame it in a way that, oh, yeah, they came over here, they did something to us, like they did with 9/11, then, yeah, I could see us getting into it. But if they can't make it touch home to the people, then no, we're not going to be down with going to Ukraine.
Had a perfect race. They would have had Biden, who is dead, who does whatever they say because he's not the president of the United States and he has never been the president of the United States. And it's a puppetry. It's obviously a puppet show. And then they would have had Nikki Haley, who has a lust for war. It would have been their pick. They flipped a coin. They wouldn't have cared either way. Maybe they would have done the same bit and had, Biden cede to Kamala. Probably not, because they would have expected everyone, because don't forget, a lot of Dems were warming up to Nikki Haley. They would have just expected that Nikki Haley would have beat him. And Nikki Haley was their candidate. Nikki Haley was the Lockheed Martin war candidate.
Well, let's be real. If you heard that debate, if you really heard that debate, she was pro-Israel, bro. She was Ukraine. She's talking about, we need to go keep sending them money. We can't let them lose. It was like she was diehard about them, and it was kind of scary to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm conservative, but what she's talking is a bit scary. She's like, the way she was talking, it was as if, she's not going to let Ukraine go. She's willing to go to war over it, and it would be just... It wouldn't benefit us, because what does America lose, low-key, with Ukraine being taken over? Like, dog, our food prices and our gas prices already went up because of the conflict. So what else can we do now but try to work things out with Putin? And if we don't, and we let Putin figure things out himself, we're not going to like the result. We're not going to like the position we're going to be in to negotiate later.
That didn't happen. And so they've allowed this show to go on. They're having neocons infiltrate Donald Trump's campaign. He is pulling away from more his isolationist perspectives. If I had a perfect campaign built for Trump right now, he would be surrounded by rednecks. Okay? That's about who I trust to be around him. He would be surrounded by rednecks who care about nothing but America first. He would go radically America first. Okay? He would take money from no one. Say goodbye to the donor class, because the donor class is the war class. These people are wealthy, the majority of them, because in some capacity, they're making money off of these wars. And Trump thinks these people are his friends. He actually believes that these people are his friends. He doesn't see it as an infiltration. He is so blind. 2 assassination attempts. And he's not recognizing that the enemy is within. The enemy is surrounding him. Somebody provided that information about him golfing. Who was that somebody? Who do you guys think it was? Do you trust what's happening right now at the Trump campaign? Who's giving him this advice to be speaking about pro-choice and IVF and what is going on right now? Why does it look like to me a neocon infiltration intentionally trying to ruin his campaign? And it looks like by any means necessary, they will ruin his campaign. I trust no one around him. I trust no one around him right now. And I cannot believe that he does not have the gut instinct to recognize that something is wrong when you survive 2 assassination attempts. Giving you guys an update here from CNN. Caitlin Collins has said that the U.S. intelligence officials recently briefed Trump's campaign about new indications that Iran was planning to escalate attacks on the former president.
But why?
Unbelievably, guys, they're really going with this. Hey, you survived again. Okay, so the guy was obviously very high on Ukraine, but let me tell you why you need to realize that it was Iran. This is incredible. This is so obvious. It is so obvious. Before we even had a shooter, the neocons are tweeting.
For y'all anti-Trumpers, like, but isn't it a bit strange? Like, come on, isn't this now a little strange that there's a second attempt, a second time somebody was close or in the vicinity around Trump that could low-key shoot him? Isn't that a bit strange, though? Like, even if you don't like the man, we got to call out what the facts are. We got to call what the facts are, bro. They low-key want this man out the game. They want him out the game. And even if y'all want to believe that, oh, this is all propaganda, they're just trying to boost his numbers and all this good stuff. Well, so 1, is working. And 2, you can, like, the way Candace is framing it is pretty damn accurate. Like, if you really hear how these neocons speak, how these people speak, it is almost like they're willing to, like, sacrifice it all for war. The war that they ain't got to fight in themselves, of course.
Tweeting about Iran. Now we have an update, and we're saying that we are learning that the U.S. intelligence officials are similarly trying to tell Trump that it was Iran. Who is it that wants war with Iran? Because that is the person that is attempting, in my view, to assassinate President Trump both times. The state wants war with Iran. When the state wants to go to war, they will do it by any means necessary. Just ask JFK.
All right, we get into the deep state.
Who was presented with a plan
Hold on.
to stage a fake terrorist attack on American soil by the CIA. They were going to kill Americans in an attack, and then they were going to blame it on Cuba, so that American people would go, rah, 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 let's go to war with Cuba. As a declassified CIA event called Operation Northwoods. This is how presidents die, okay? They die when war is on the agenda. People need to wake up to this. First of all, Donald Trump needs to wake up to this. He should be trusting no one, and he better not be foolish enough to believe that it is Iran who somehow got somebody out to West Palm Beach on a Sunday so that they could take a shot at him. I mean, it's absolutely senseless. It is absolutely senseless. I am infuriated. It is unbelievable how obvious it is at this point. It is unbelievable how obvious it is at this point. Let me tell you guys something. Before we read your comments, you better wake up to the real history of America, okay? You better start looking into all of the assassination attempts and figure out what it all is that they have in common. All the successful assassinations of U.S. presidents in the past, okay? Because there have been 4.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln was assassinated,
True.
and what you think you know about that assassination is likely wrong. Okay, when a priest sat me down and said, you know nothing about your country, you know nothing about the Freemasons that were warring for your country, it was about that time that I really woke up to what is happening and what has always been happening in this country. There has always been a hand in this country behind the scenes, and they are willing to murder for power. They are willing to murder for war. There have been 4 sitting U.S. presidents that have been killed. Abraham Lincoln, allegedly by John Wilkes Booth. There's a lot to that story that you should look into. James Garfield, killed by a person whose father believed he was possessed by Satan, who was involved in some weird religious stuff, killed by Charles Guiteau. And of course, there was William McKinley, when we brought in a ton of these radical communists under the guise of pogroms. And they began radicalizing people in the streets, turning Americans into communists. You know, we should really re-up McCarthy because he was a hero. You lied about that in your books. America was infiltrated by communists who were assassinated by were thrilled by the successful assassination of a Tsar, came here and started inspiring people here to start killing people for power. And Leon Czolgosz was the person who shot and killed William McKinley, who was inspired by communists in New York City. And then, of course, the last president who was shot and killed was John F. Kennedy. And we're really still supposed to believe that it was Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm not buying that. I've never bought that. Before you could even say that he didn't do it. He was shot by a guy who had been MK Ultra'd in prison. If you don't know, if none of this sounds familiar to you, then it might be time for you to examine and come to the recognition that you know.
Yeah, well, JFK was kind of do certain things that antagonize certain people. Like, he antagonized a certain state. Now, we're not going to get too far into this, but yes, JFK did antagonize a certain state. He tried to stop them from getting nukes. He tried to get their whole, foreign, a little political foreign agency to, sign under FARA, and they didn't want to. He's trying to make them, and all of a sudden he ends up dead. Like a month later when he says, oh, no, I'm pushing y'all. If y'all don't, y'all done. A month later, out the game. Yeah, so there was definitely some forces that wanted JFK out the way. Just like there were some forces that want Trump out the way because I guess he don't want war with Russia and he don't want war with Iran. He just don't want it. So there's certain people in the government who feel like, well, this is not our right candidate because we're not going to make no money under him.
Nothing about real history. What you know is what has been intentionally taught to you, almost like a fairy tale in your classrooms. And when I came to that conclusion, I came to that recognition, it was shocking, it was jarring, but for the first time it made sense that this is a true battle between good and evil. This is a true battle, as the Bible tells us, regarding principalities of darkness. That is what we are fighting. And if this does not wake Donald Trump up to that fact, if he does not recognize that and start switching things up, I don't know if he's going to make it. I truly don't know if he's going to make it because he is surrounded by evil. That is my viewpoint. You guys, I want to get into some of your comments, but I first just want to throw it to, before we jump into your comments and jump into some of your super chats here, I'm just going to thank our sponsors, pre-born of this show. All right, guys, cutting in to remind you about American financing. We all know that the Biden-Harris economy has been a major burden /Owens. Again, that is that Ruth was convicted in 2002 of possessing a weapon of mass destruction. It's according to the online North Carolina Department of Adult Correction records. The records do not provide details about the case. A weapon of mass destruction. You're telling me this guy was able to secure a passport and to be allowed to go overseas into another country? I mean, I'm having trouble traveling because of my rhetoric to Australia, right? Because I'm not pro-war, I guess. I'm not pro-dead Palestinians. And you're telling me this guy, convicted, weapon of mass destruction, no issues traveling overseas. Man, why is this giving me the Chaos vibe? Chaos being the book that I have been saying is required reading if you watch this podcast, because it really will help catalyze your understanding of just how evil our state is, just on how hell-bent they are on going to war, realizing that everything you were told about the trial.
Hopefully, did anybody in the chat ever read that book, Chaos by Tim O'Neill? Like, you don't even got to read it. You can listen to it on audio book, but that's a pretty crazy book. What they got going on right there, that's a wild book. What they were doing with the Charles Manson situation, like, despicable, but they got it off.
Charles Manson murders was a lie, that he was a guy in prison, and this looks like this guy was in prison, who was then turned into a federal agent. And to what end? Well, really, when I started putting the pieces together, it's pretty obvious. They wanted the hippie movement to end because LBJ, after they had shot JFK, wanted war. And a bunch of people on LSD talking about love and free love and no war was not going to cut it. Just they needed a jarring, shocking mass psychosis event, like the idea that a hippie commune turned into sadistic murderers and killed a Hollywood actress. Read that book, Chaos. Wake up and understand what it is that we are fighting, because this smells funny to me. So he was in prison. And that is where a lot of people are turned federal agents, in prison. They will cut a deal. They will give you time off. And you will then be let out with remarkable privileges, as was Charles Manson, to do federal bidding. This, again, is another clue that is worth investigating. Because I can't imagine that somebody with a weapon of mass destruction is just able to just, being convicted of that, la-di-da, go wherever he wants, become a spokesperson for the Ukraine war as he sits in Romania. Doesn't pass the test. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I promise. You really knew the truth about Ukraine and where that money's kind of mostly going to. It's into weapons that they get from us. So it's like nobody really benefits from Ukraine, honestly, getting money. But, well, the weapons company. Only them. Like I said, so only the neocons and the, neocons are usually the board of these companies that are the weapon companies. So they're the only one that's really raking it in. And Nancy Pelosi, who makes these good, these calls on these stocks and, eat up.
To me whatsoever. Getting into some of your comments here, Lucky Mint, thank you for the tip here. Lucky Mint writes, amazing coverage, the 11th hour.
But, facts though, facts. And she did pretty good coverage on it. Because I'm like, hold on, you even got the guy's face? Hey, I love it. I love it. So you gotta love Candace's coverage. But let's take it on to another topic. I got two more for you. We're about to go ahead and listen to some black Democrats pretty much have a meltdown over the Trump and Kamala Harris debate. And then, of course, we got Joe Biden and Kamala speaking. So, let's get right into it.
From the economy to abortion to Afghanistan. They
So hello, we are back.
Wow.
No other network does it like this. No other network does it like this. Good conversation. We're gonna let
Mary Bruce and Rachel
Young
Scott
Jock here.
So we're going to go ahead and listen to, black conservatives versus, black conservative versus black liberals. Because I ain't gonna lie, this girl right here, damn near went viral for crashing out.
Our reporters
Speak on behalf
across the
of,
news division,
based on what the
have been
sister said,
updating our
the
live
comments about
blog,
grabbing them by the
looking
feet.
at some of the allegations made back and forth, doing fact checks. You can find all of that on abcnews.com. But I would like to replay the moment at the
feels
very
like he's
start
eligible
of
to
this
do
debate,
things like that,
because
and not,
it was quite a moment.
Not being in recourse.
The
So
handshake.
I understood what she was saying, but at the end of the day,
And if you look-
I didn't want to be put into that, right?
My apologies, Jock,
But I do
we haven't
understand that
seen a handshake. We haven't seen a handshake in a long time.
sometimes,
And
as
not
crazy
only
as
did
it
she
is,
initiate it,
people
she
or women
walked over
will
to
allow
him
a man of a
and
certain
sought
stature
him
or
out,
tax
put the hands
bracket.
Not all
out, and
women.
also
Not
made the
all
first
women, and that's
approach.
why
probably had a
definitely
plan
And I didn't
on
want
if
to
he had
clarify that.
Right.
his hand out.
So
interesting.
So
Interesting.
just,
And
I'm not even gonna say 95%.
So we got Makila Montgomery, Tezly, Young Jock, and these two, I do not know who they are. But this lady, man, let's just watch the crash out. This should be fun, guys.
I'm just saying the situations that happen. But at the end of the day, let's not act like it's not recourse that comes behind it. You know what I'm saying? You look up, you may be the guy that could do this and that, but you end up with
A charge.
a charge.
Right.
And as your man got a couple charges, you know what I'm saying? Trump, that is. So, and I'm not, look, I'm here because I wanted to be here right now in this room, in the city that I live in. I've never, seen a moment where somebody say, hey, we're gonna go watch the debate, and everybody in my age bracket is excited. Right. And I'm like, damn, this the new.
No. That was them. I swear to God, if you go back, that was them. They were still playing a debate in the background while bro was talking for some crazy reason.
This the new club. I'm like, let's go. And so to come in and witness this firsthand, I do notice that y'all get a little high key, a little hostile with the energy. And I wish y'all could kind of just keep it a little, well, it's nothing wrong, but it makes it hard to communicate.
No, we'll get through.
Yeah, we will.
This is what family do. Let me speak to this.
True indeed.
Let me speak to this. If people can argue about who's the best rapper, if people can argue about who peed on who, if people can argue about who dated who, we can absolutely, and I want family to understand this. I want to be clear about this. This is family. I literally asked Revolt, let's make sure we bring black Republicans, not just Republicans, but Trumpers, all the way on the left, all the way on the right, all the way on the left. We have got to be okay with chaos. And we let me just say this, brother. We have got to be okay with having a difference of opinion. We're gonna turn it all the way up and turn it down and turn it up, just like we hug, we chill, we cool. This is good. It is good. Look how they do in Britain. They yell, holler, scream, throw chairs. It is good for us to sort this out because organized chaos and having this conversation is actually how we solve problems. It's just like playing playing dominoes and talking loud.
No, I would just like to add that if we could find just a more streamlined way to actually execute this moment, then opposed to us yelling, because I'm keeping it 100. I would much more rather be yelling and be passionate about these conversations that's going to live on for years and decades for our children and the people that we leave in our legacies too, opposed to me yelling if LeBron or Kobe or Jordan is the best. I do feel like this is a more fulfilling conversation. It's more healthy, but I'm trying to get into it because it's so chaotic, but I love it.
Right.
I love it. I'm here.
But I do want to speak to the solution, because what Young Jocks Bay saying is we got to get to the solution, and I just want to put this. I train thousands of people every year. Thousands of people every year to be organizers, to be candidates, to be operatives. This brother running for office. You have to be on the ground in order to do it. This brother's in the community. Are you not? You talk about it in the community all the time. This is in the community. Everybody in this room is an activist, an organizer at some level in the community. So we are working towards a solution just because of the time and because we're responding to, in real time what they're saying. We have to deal it in pockets, just like a track. We just doing a track and feature every now and then. But make no mistake about it, that revolt, and hopefully we continue to have these conversations, which is why we're here. We can continue to flesh out these solutions. So it's not that we're not getting towards solution. We're just having a good old-fashioned rap battle. That's all. And ain't nothing wrong with it.
So,
and hip-hop, literally hip-hop.
I mean,
somebody asked in the comments, why is Young Jock?
And this is what I had to say. I'm like, hold on. Why are we looking at it as a rap battle, not as a presidential debate? Like, y'all should be debating, on policies, not talking like, oh, it's a rap battle and all this. Like, no. It should be a sophisticated conversation holding both candidates accountable for what they provided as such as policies. Like, I don't know why she already framed it as a battlefield to for things to go left, and not just politically.
And I just checked somebody in the comments and said, you got every right to be here. First of all, Revolt is a hip-hop network. Let's get that straight. So if anything, we in your house. So because I want to let you know how I defended you. Why is Young Jock? Well, first of all, you a human like anybody else. So let's first get that straight. Nobody get to decide who should be here and who should not be here. Rappers, literally, you've been telling the story from the beginning of time. It's like a jungle sometime. Made me wonder how I keep from going under. Rap literally tells our story.
Can I tell them something?
Yes, you can.
I'm socially activated at this point in my life. Just 2 weekends ago, I teamed up with my brother, Tory 100, Mr. Ray Daniels, P from QC, Luda, Jermaine Dupri, and we just gave out 1,000 laptops to our inner city youth on the South Side, for Southside Day at the Lake. So, and I'm not doing that for clout. I'm just saying this is my footing in the game. It's a receipt. It's a footprint.
Yeah.
And I appreciate when people ask those types of questions, because it creates a friction, it creates a conflict, and that's the only way we're gonna do something. They say iron sharpen iron. You got to ask those tough questions, even if it ain't a tough question. Why he there? Because I'm activated. I have a nationally syndicated morning show. I don't want to just regurgitate what I heard. It's just like I said at the DNC with my nice little suit on, speaking to Revolt.
Right.
Hey, I want to be in the room. I want to smell what's happening in the room, and I want the room to smell me.
That's right.
And the only way for that to happen is I have to actively be present.
Right.
And here I am.
That's right. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, straight up.
And also, even if you wasn't activated, see, my job being the hood was to go get people who's not activated.
Talk to me.
So nobody, since we got Christian folk, if you're not a Christian, then don't worry about it. But it's about walking among the people that are not activated.
Hey.
So when I was in the streets yesterday in Atlanta, I'm talking to the brothers literally homeless who are under the bridge. We got to get them in the fold. Anybody can talk to their own choir, but who can go bring people to go follow them up the hill? So we want to be clear that this space is for those who are activated and non-activated, because that's Trump's. Beyond, here's where I'll give Trump campaign some credit. They follow the what do they call it? The lost man or the unspoken man. What do they call it on your side? The forgotten man. Where they literally go and say, let me strategically peel off 1-2%. Let me go and get Icewear Vizzo in Detroit to peel off 1 or 2%. And you have people online saying, oh, why they got Icewear? He got clout in Detroit. So while you ignoring that rapper in Detroit and saying, oh, he don't know what he's talking about, that 1 and 2%, the Trump campaign has been very strategic, whether y'all like it or not. They've been very strategic talking to those brothers that are not getting talked to. So we want to be clear that the non-activated people are important, and we want them here too, and we're glad to have you.
3.6 million people listen to me every morning.
Yeah.
From 6 to 10 on my platform. So I'm happy to be here, man.
We appreciate it, brother.
First off, I want to say, Jock, I want to give you the props for those laptops, because I know it's going to make the difference for those kids that you did that to. So people who are online, please just
Shout
watch
out my man.
who you give who you're trying to knock and who you give respect to, because those are resources that you didn't have to do, but you did it because you've always been a real one. And so we, as a community, we appreciate you, and you should be, if anything, one of the first people to speak, because when people aren't looking, you're still working for us. And I do want to say this, and this is, I mean, Tez, I know you said one thing. You said, "Hey, you know, you sitting next to a big dog. You sit next to a big dog." But out of that whole stage right there, if Trump wins, only one of y'all going to the White House, and that's Michaela right there. And so we got to be honest on what we got to know. We have to know. What I'm saying is, hold on. Out of the whole crowd, only one person. Hold on. Let me just.
Gotta listen to each other. Let's hear.
Go ahead, brother.
And this is why.
Hold on, go back.
But out of that whole stage right there, if Trump wins, only one of y'all going to the White House, and that's Michaela right there. And so we gotta be honest on what we gotta know.
I love it. Hey, he called them out, my nigga, bro. He said, let's be honest, bro. If Trump wins, y'all all gonna sit in the house bitter as hell. Quit playing like y'all out here giving a biased perspective when you know damn well if Trump loses, you gonna be hipping and hollering. But if he wins, y'all gonna be in the crib, gruntle face, not wanting to show up, and only one person on that panel gonna show up. No, bro, bro, say it again.
No, but out of that whole stage right there, if Trump wins, only one of y'all going to the White House, and that's Michaela right there. And so we gotta be honest on what we gotta know. We have to know. What I'm saying is, hold on. Out of the whole crowd, only one person. Hold on, let me just.
Gotta listen to each other. Let's hear.
Go ahead, brother.
And this is why the black people.
Just finish. Don't start with the black people. Finish your comment, baby.
When it comes down to a divide,
focus on the.
Can he finish? Like he's giving you his question. You're telling him to focus on his question. That's crazy.
It comes down to a divide in our community. This is why, because we're talking about everybody being so politically correct instead of in 4 years, what are we going to get? You mentioned chaos. Black people have been in chaos way before this debate ever started.
Facts.
We're in chaos in the homeless shelters.
Facts.
We're in chaos when it comes to the Department of Labor. We're in chaos with the fact that Jock has to bring out laptops for the kids because there's not enough resources in our community. Right. And so when we have a sister with a different opinion than ours, it's about giving that respect. The fact that...
Hold on, wait a minute. I got to... Wait, no, you're not... No, I'm going to stop you because you're going on and on. This sister here is the one that invited this sister. So if I did not respect this sister, she wouldn't be sitting here. You're going to put some respect on that. We're not going to sit up here. No, you can get frustrated and look down and all of that. Relax. Well, we got to make sure we're very clear. This platform was designed to bring this sister here. So if there was no respect for this sister, she wouldn't be here. So let's make sure we're using the right context, brother. I don't mind you making the point about one sister going. This is the only sister on this stage that want to go. So let's also make that clear.
But okay, then you just admitted that bro was right and he touched on something real. You can't stop him after he said, oh, well, hold on, I just invited him. I'm like, here, and you should get off that point even though you're right. I invited her here, so even though you're right, I want you to shut you up. It's like, you just admitted this man was right, and now you're arguing with him? Or, I don't know, not arguing, but you're kind of snapping at him.
Because I don't work in no White House. So I want to be clear about that. Everybody ain't trying to get a job in the White House. You can continue, but let's not act like she's not respected because she is. We just have a difference of opinion.
So when people are yelling about who's a big dog.
I am a big dog.
And what I'm saying is,
I'm a big dog.
Out of this whole stage, only one person.
I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing for black women to be acting like that. Like, I'm a big dog. I'm like, bro, what? You're a big dog? Like, just calm your ass down, okay?
Standing on the stage with a presidential
and only
candidate.
one person on this stage flipped Michigan, and only one person on this stage organized over 2,000 people every year. Only one person was the racial justice director for Bernie Sanders. Only one, because remember, you don't want to do resumes because the sister already said she don't have no resume. So you might want to.
And now you're throwing disrespectful shots at the guest that you said you brought on. So now, not only did you disrupt this man in his point, just to make a point to pretty much prove that he's right, and then you're gonna go ahead and throw shots at the young lady. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, she's crashing out right now.
Yeah, you did. You said you don't have like the rest of ain't but one sister the senior public policy advisor for Ben Crump. Let's go on to the next. Ain't but one sister signed the front of the check for 1,000 people. Oh, baby, I know you don't want to start doing the only sister. I know you don't want to start doing the only the sister receipts because they but one sister served the United States Air Force. Let's go on to the next person because I don't like the slight. I don't like the passive aggressive diss because I run these receipts down.
Sweetheart, you just went on a tangent. You didn't even let him finish his point. You just went off on a complete temper tantrum and didn't let this man finish his point. And I hate this in the black community. Us black men got to stop letting black women do this. Bro should have said, bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm talking. I'm about to finish my sentence. I'm about to walk the fuck off. Whoever steps about to get knocked out. And I would have finished my sentence and walk the fuck off. You're not about to tell me to shut the fuck up. Like, bro, grow some fucking nuts, black men. Like, bro, why are we letting our black women talk to us like this? This is crazy.
Let's go on, because ain't but one sister served this country on this here panel.
4 years from now, black people have to decide what they're going to get at the end of the year.
Keep going, dog.
And we're dealing with the disrespect right here. 4 years. What are black people going to get at the?
Because you heard us say she don't have the resume that I got. So go on to the next sister. I'm not gonna handle your passive aggressive distance, baby. I run these receipts down on you. I run these receipts down on you.
That's crazy. So now you're arguing with her. She's correcting herself. And she's like, yo, hold on. I said I didn't have the resume he had. I probably got the resume you got. Chill out. So she's damn near speaking out the side of her neck. She got mad at dude for saying something factual that she damn near proved herself. Like, oh, well, you're saying that, oh, only she would go. And you're right. None of us is going to go. Only her. Only she want to go. So he was right about his first statement. And then you want to go off on a tangent about, like, what? Oh, how you brought her here, how you have the best resume. I'm big dog. I'm like, all right. And this is that masculine black woman that they be talking about, bro.
Talking to a whole veteran.
We can't.
So, baby, ain't nobody impressed about working in no White House. I done turned it down. Ain't but one sister on here that on Fox News.
Crashing
ain't
out,
but one
dude.
that do 100 hits on Fox News. They don't call this sister. They call me.
They call me.
How many you do a year? How many do you do a year?
I've literally done 30 in the
Baby, I
past
do
2
100 every year.
I've said what I
do
did in the last
100 per
2 months.
year. I do 100 per year.
And I just came on the team.
I'm a big dog.
By the end of the year,
I love my
maybe I'll be there.
sister. I love my sister, but you're not gonna divide us.
But you can't deny
Move on to the
Yo, that was wildly disrespectful to that man and her at the same time. Then try to circle around, yeah, you know, you my sister. I'm like, you just completely disrespected me. Now I'm your sister. Hey, bro, I swear that's why arguing with liberals can be kind of crazy because they'll insult you and then try to say, but let's unite after I call you an idiot and all that.
The real thing is going to be, we need to really talk about black people in 4 years. What are we going to get in 4 years? Let's not talk about the criminal. Let's not talk about the charges. 4 years.
Keep talking. Keep going.
What is Harris promising black people in 4 years?
That was
my nigga. What's that man's name, bro? Come on, bro. My nigga. Like, oh my God. My brother. I'm sorry. Let me stop using that word. My brother. You a real one.
Let's get the next person up.
I understand what
don't ever do that with me though. Don't ever do that with me. You'll get your friend embarrassed. Play with your little friends.
Sweetheart, you embarrassed yourself with that. It's crazy in our black community where we act a fool and then we pretend like we're winning. Like we'll literally act a complete ass and then pretend like we're winning, pretend like we're in the right, and it's just like, are you serious? You so unprofessional. You just acted like, bro. That was unhinged. It was like you just went off the deep end with that. Went completely left. Just got completely emotional and didn't even let bros try to talk. You talked over him the entire time. It was like, what? Does it sound like you respect different opinions?
I would never be embarrassed.
Yeah, I just want to speak Christian community as a Christian. I'm actually very disappointed in some of their point of views, including the abortion rights. I've heard a couple of conversations, people saying that a man can't tell me what I need to do with my body. But as a Christian, I just feel like, how can you agree with something or someone who says, when the Lord had already said, do not murder? So how can you agree with somebody who said, yeah, let's go ahead and abort, even when they have came out the womb? You know what I'm saying? And then the lady back there who said, Kara, was that your name? Who said, how can we agree with someone who said grab people by the vagina? Well, as a Christian, I'm agreeing with Trump, and I don't identify with necessarily either party, but this year I am Team Trump because of his policies. Most of the ones when I go by.
Because she's Christian and she's Southern. It sounds like she's Christian and Southern, so Yeah, if you're usually heavily Christian, that whole abortion thing don't really align with you like that. So shout out. I can see where that was going. All right, shout out. And I don't know, what she say though in that last point about Trump?
Carol, was that your name? Who said, how can we agree with someone who said grab people by the vagina?
I mean, locker room talk. I mean, like, I've heard many people say that before. Trump ain't the first person I've heard say that. I mean, shit, I think I might have even, I mean, it said it not word for word, but I probably said it at some time. Grab him by the pussy, bro, was legendary. I don't know, bro. I was legendary.
Well, as a Christian, I'm agreeing with Trump, and I don't identify with necessarily either party, but this year I am Team Trump because of his policies. Most of the ones, when I go by line, they agree with Jesus' principles that's laid out in the Bible.
Oh, shit. Okay. She said all the Trump policies is damn near what's laid out in the Bible. Like, yo, it's like Trump's policies agree with what's in the Bible in her eyes. This is what she's saying. Remember? Black woman, most liberal group.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at someone who half of his principles is aligned with the Bible. I can't disagree with someone who is against the LGBTQIA, DEI plus agendas with men, including men, you know, playing in women's sports. I can't agree with someone who's going to, you know, do the abortion ban. I can't, well, not do the abortion ban. I cannot agree with someone who's going to go ahead and take away our gun reform when in the Bible, Jesus is actually for us protecting ourselves. Somewhere in Luke, he definitely said, here's 2 swords. Okay. That is enough.
So let's let the, because she was talking to her in the pink, so she wanted to comment.
Wow. Didn't even acknowledge her. Just looked at her with a condescending look and be like, another Trump, goodbye. Let me talk to the one in the pink. I'm done with you. I'm like, wow. Didn't even like responded to what she said. Didn't even interacted to what she said. Just completely ignored a black Trump supporter and just said, you know what? Didn't even try to convert her. She just dismissed her. And what did she start off on? She started off on, oh, we're going to try to convert some people. We're going to try to actually really talk to them. We're like family. Oh, no. Okay, no. With her, you're only family if you think like her.
Come on, sister, we're running out of time.
Okay, the first thing God called us to do is love.
Correct.
And I think a lot of our speech, yes, 100% has been inflammatory, but he's called us to love and not judge.
Correct.
Second thing God gave us is free will. It's not up to us to decide the cost of somebody's sins and how we're going to act out this person.
I'm sorry, lady, you're not wearing a bra. And I don't know why, like, bro, I can't trust anything she say right now. Like, what, lady, you're on public TV, you're not wearing a bra. She's on TV and she's obviously conservatively dressed. So anything you saying at this point, I can't hear it. I can't hear it about God.
It's punishment.
Like, you're not even wearing a bra.
So when you sit there and say that Trump's policies align with Jesus Christ, do you hear his speech?
Let me know when she's done talking, chat. I'm just gonna look at the chat.
But God says in the Bible, judge a man by his fruits. His fruits. Hold up. Please don't talk over me. His fruits are inflammatory. His fruits are rotten. So please don't disrespect my Jesus Christ like that. Okay, my family was there. And let me also go back.
Woman, you're respecting your Jesus Christ right now with your nipples out on live television. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say, G. I can't believe what some of these religious black women will get up here and say and how they will dress. Talk about don't disrespect my Jesus. I'm like, she didn't disrespect your Jesus. Like, bro, and you see how crazy these liberals get? They can't even respect somebody else's opinion. Not only did she was dismissive of her, but the next lady up next to her got to lecture her about her own religion. Like, bro, she read the Bible just like you. She quoted the Bible just like you. Why can't you respect that? She sees that it aligns with Trump and you don't see that. That's perfectly fine. But you don't got to sit there and start crying at her and being disrespectful towards her because you're an older woman. And she's low-key playing that older black woman card right now on her. Because in the black community, we do believe in respecting our elders. Like, believe it or not, we do. So when the elders come at us a little bit viciously, we do kind of, draw back a little bit.
A little bit more. My family was very instrumental. And let me also say, my family was very instrumental.
Can you talk to them and not come at her? Like, that's very, like, what are you doing here?
No. Is this mic on? Can people hear me?
I feel like it was
Okay.
either. But go ahead. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
And I'm also saying this as a person whose family was instrumental in founding the AME Church.
Man, shout out droning in the scenery, bro. Appreciate you, big dog. Bible is not feminist BS. And yes, the way she's dressing is feminist BS. You know, I'm so happy I got this framed in a way where y'all can't see this disrespect, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
I don't know where your relationship with God went wrong, and I'll retract that because I can't judge where you're.
Yo, your relationship with God went wrong because you're a Trump supporter. The craziness, the disrespect of other people just because they don't believe in the same thing you do. We're talking about politics, not religion. Y'all read the same damn book. That is wildly disrespectful to say. That's what I'm saying. These liberals, low-key, are disrespectful people. That's why I'm going to be real with you. When people be liberals, it kind of make me like, and not all liberals are like this, but the ones they show on YouTube and TV are very disrespectful, low-key, for some reason. They have a vitriol towards anybody with a difference of opinion. And, like, what's going on here? Like, why can't you just, like, bro, just because she's a Trump supporter, she's disrespecting her like she's not another black woman.
But I think you need to go back to the Bible a little bit more and have some one-on-one time with him to really think about whether the person that you're calling to represent this country actually represents Jesus Christ, or whether he's actually thwarting Jesus' word.
You said that I'm.
Yeah, that girl wanted to punch her. I ain't even gonna lie. That girl wanted to punch her. I know black women, and if you in there like that, Faye, look, she only composed herself because, man, then they ain't out in the street. But oh Lord, yeah, she wanted to hit her. She was like, man, you know, I wonder if I could just real quick, and would I get away with it?
I'm disrespecting Jesus Christ. But what is disrespectful when he is the one who creates life? I think anybody who's a Christian can say he is the end all be all. He is the Alpha and Omega. He is the only one responsible for life. So what is disrespectful to the Lord Jesus Christ is him giving you a baby and giving you life, and you dropping it at his feet saying, I don't want it, because you don't want to control who you having sex with. If you do not want to have a baby with somebody that you don't want a baby with,
Somebody
you don't need to be having sex with that person. Maybe you need to close your legs.
40.
Maybe that's what you need to do, because you just don't want to be responsible with your body count. You want to use the I don't want a man telling me what to do with my body as an output and as an excuse. But that is not. You telling me I'm disrespectful and I need to revisit? Maybe you need to revisit.
Okay, so we can relax. We wanted to pass. We got
relevant conversation.
How is it irrelevant if we're talking about policies?
Sis, hold on. Because the people can't hear. Let's let him.
Man, not this gay. It's always the gay dudes. It's always the gay. I like gay people. I like the conservative gays. You know, I'm be real with you, because the liberal one, like, bro, like, why are you snapping at a young woman? Like, bro, check your fucking voice. You're a man. No man is raising his damn voice at a woman like that. Like, what are you doing? That's why you're I almost got myself canceled.
Relevant because there's this such thing called
almost got myself
separation
canceled.
between church and state. Your religious beliefs, if you will just let me finish.
If you could lower your voice down and talk in a calm manner, like I said, you're a man and she's a woman, so don't talk to her like you're a woman.
Your religious beliefs do not supersede my right as an American to not subscribe to that if I so choose.
I mean, I do have them in my family. I mean, like, there are gay people in my family. Like, why would I hate gay people? Why would I hate gay people? I just don't like gay people like this who think it's okay to, like, raise their voice at women and fight women. Like, they're really gays who treat women like they men or something. Like, there's gay people who do that, and I don't like them. And with this guy, I'm not going to say that he hits women or treats them like that, but the way he's raising his voice at another woman is wild. It's wild. And it does show a lack of masculinity, but, you know, it does contribute to his sexuality, I guess.
The government is not inside my bedroom. The government shouldn't be inside your bedroom. What you do between you and God, you'll...
DDL standards on the switch up. I'm weak. You said DDL standards on the switch up. I'm weak. Man, appreciate you droning in the scenery, man. Appreciate that. Man, don't worry. We keep going. Let's go. Oh, no. Come on now. No. He ain't standing on business. He's carrying on the same work the girl in the pink did. This coming at her because she's a Trump supporter and insulting her based on her knowledge of the religion. And, bro, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. So where is he cooking? They're just trying to get disrespectful towards anybody who's a Trump supporter. That's really what they're doing here. Like, if y'all can't see that, I don't know what's going on here.
Sort it out when you go seek salvation later. But for the government to try and sort that.
Bro, she read the Bible. This is why I hate. All right, chat, bro. Look, I like Christian religion, bro. But in my community, bro, some black Christians be the worst. I'm gonna be rude. I'm just gonna fucking say, bro. Black Christians be the worst, bro. They be the most condescending, the most narcissistic, the most uppity, sadity, the fucking worst. And then it be the gay ones that be the wildest ones, I promise you. But sometimes they be the worst people, bro. They do not exude any qualities of Jesus or any of the 7 virtues that are in the Bible, bro. It kills me sometimes. Not all black Christians, but god damn it, y'all be the worst, bro.
That out through law makes no sense because this is not, everyone in this country is not Christian.
Well, one thing about it, no, because when I first came up here, I said, as a Christian, I'm disappointed in the Christian's point of view.
Please don't,
so please don't say I'm speaking to anybody else.
Please don't disrespect me or yourself.
What, nigga? She didn't disrespect herself. She spoke out. She's giving her opinion, and you're raising your voice at her. You're over-talking her. Like, what's going, bro? Even this dude over here is like, bro, I hope young Jock is putting his head down. Like, bro, why are you trying to be this, like, disrespectful towards a woman? Like, why are you trying to insult her because of her religion? Even this woman, this dude over here, you could tell he got the masculinity here. But this man, bro, everybody looking at dude like, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on now. You're trying to really come at a woman off her religion. It was okay when the woman was doing it, but now that a man's doing it now, it's just pathetic.
Okay? Please do not.
The way you just did by saying that you're for killing the baby when you said don't murder, that disrespect? Is that the same disrespect we're talking about?
Now, wait a minute. Deaconess Figaro said, let's let everybody have
Figaro. Go ahead.
Figaro. Let's let everybody have, Deaconess. Let him finish his point.
He's
and
a
then
deacon?
We gotta let somebody.
Oh, my. He's a deacon? When we start, y'all lucky we're not on Rumble, bro. Y'all lucky we're not on Rumble, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Somebody else come up.
I didn't know when that become a thing. I don't know. When did them types become, deacons in the churches?
All of that is wonderful. Mm-hmm. You should sort that out with your church. You should not be sorting that out with government officials. Because guess what? There are people who also interpret the Bible to say that it justified your enslavement. That justifies you being mistreated as a black person.
Well,
based on their...
It's not a misinterpretation. In the book of Deuteronomy, it literally says that. Like, what are you talking about? It's not a misinterpretation. If you just read it word by word, that's literally what it says. Nobody lying about that, G. Nobody lying. And shout out Robert Downs, man, for the $5 super chat, bro. We appreciate you. Too many hypocrites when it comes to religion. God is love. Love isn't God. I love that statement. No, bro. When people make such real statements like that, man, I gotta shout you out, dog. I just gotta shout you out because Robert, I gotta give it to you. Not a lot of people know that. A lot of people like to really complicate what God is, and if they really simplify it to just that, I'm telling you, they live a lot simpler life. I promise, man. It'd be a whole lot more easier just to align yourself like with your morals and ethics instead of reading the Bible where you can interpret it any way you want. And I don't like that. I really don't. That's why people kind of respect the Quran a little bit more, because there's like, not solidified. This is what they do. There is no, interpret it this and that way. It's like, no. Bro, back in the day, and the Bible said you couldn't be gay, right? Now in the day, they'll go like, well, that's just how it's interpreted. But if you interpret it this way, it's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Do you want that?
My bad, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Codified into law? No. So if you don't want that codified into law on the other side, you should probably just take your religious beliefs and have them inside of your house of faith.
I can't.
So we're done. Hold on. We're moving on.
I just want to make one sentence.
No. I can't, because they're literally having me. We got to move on. We got to move on.
And you got to respect me. I don't know who you think you talking to, but I can get up in here real quick because I was respecting her authority. If she has authority, there's no need for you to jump in when somebody else is speaking. You have been on 10 since we've been in here. You need to take your emotions out of it, because I am listening.
Here we go, man. And black people once again can't get in a place together and have a civil conversation because one side is being a little bit conceited and narcissistic, and the other side trying to be passionate, but the other side sitting so high up on their high horse, they just, at this point, sniffing their own farts at this point. I could probably just say they had to head up their ass. Sorry about that one.
To everybody else's opinion, it's you who need to take your authority out.
Ooh. Welcome to the debate after the debate show. Let's move on to the next topic. I do want to touch on immigration. Y'all, it's all right, y'all. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, y'all get so paranoid. So
y'all should let her cook. Y'all should let her cook.
Furniture gets moved.
And sometimes furniture need to get moved.
In fairness, but the Bible does say you are supposed to love God out loud. So we cannot chastise her for feeling like her vote should be reflective of her faith.
We're just moving on. Yeah, we're just moving on.
And I understood you, and I wanted to make sure everybody else understood.
Y'all like separation of church and state, though.
Well, 501c3s
we just want to move on. We just want to move on to the next. We just want to move on to the next.
Churches want to get rid of.
Nah, Deacon just know that he just talked out of term. He like, bro, she was talking about abortion in life. Where'd you bring this around? Just because she's a Trump supporter, he brought it around to the book of Deuteronomy, where they talk about slavery and all that good stuff, and how, the slave should love thy master and all that wild stuff in the Bible. But I'm sorry, but we all know to disavow that, right? We all know that, all right. Like, come on now. There's some things you just resonate with in the Bible, and some things you don't.
Excuse me, Deaconess is talking.
But the tax exemption makes them a part of the federal government. So unless they want to get rid of their tax exemption,
they don't like law and
they're
order.
Gonna be
do y'all like law and order or not?
I'm just saying.
The sis, brother, we want to move on to the next. Again, y'all to make sure y'all tell vote. I just want to be clear. We want to be able to have longer conversations, be able to have these conversations, but unfortunately we cannot just spend all night on one thing.
Okay.
We want to get to immigration. I want to get your comment, but we want to play a quick clip on immigration because we got to switch conversations. Take a listen.
As I started off the segment, I said white supremacist culture will weaponize them. I always put the blame on white supremacist culture because they use immigration as a form to undermine us.
Well, for a country that claims to be...
They use immigration to undermine us and all this other good stuff, and I'm just like, dog... The culture of the black communities what undermines it. It has nothing to do with white supremacy at this point. So yeah, I need to get off that point. Once we change our culture and who we look up to and what we aspire to be in the black community, that's when things change. There are people who are good apples, but there's not enough of them. You feel me? All right, good. Because blaming this stuff on white supremacy is getting a little bit tired. It doesn't bring any results. But when we turn it on ourselves, you know what? That seems to get some shit done. I ain't gonna lie.
Be a nation of immigrants, you would think it'd be an easier process for Congress to make it where people can go from being undocumented citizens to being documented ones, right?
It is a slap in the face that we as citizens of the United States of America do not have the resources and support, but you're going to bring people who are not citizens here in our community, in our buildings that we pay taxes for, that you took away from us.
Yeah. Most of the immigrants I know that came here have come from absolutely nothing and have never accepted handouts. So while you're sitting here talking all of this nonsense about how these migrants literally are taking everything from you,
I mean, yeah, when you drop a bunch of people off here and you give them, debit cards, you give them EBT and free housing, or, you give them Frontline and Section 8, yeah, they are taking away positions, they're taking away their taxpayer money, jobs. A lot of things are taken away from the people. And, usually women like this aren't educated enough on the subject to speak on it. And they end up sounding very disrespectful and, and damn near dehumanizing other people's problems or their suffering. That's detrimental to their way of life.
That's not going to make your life better.
Thoughts on immigration?
So I was born here. Before anybody asked me for my birth certificate, I was born here. But my mother and my father are from the Caribbean. So they are immigrants in this country. They didn't take, first of all, they're black immigrants. So the idea that Donald Trump is questioning VP Harris's race, Jamaicans are some of the blackest people I know. So let's start with that. Also, I think it's important that when we're talking about immigration, there's several things that's wrong with
Dog, Jamaican, and okay, man, maybe I need to, look, I'm Caribbean, right? I was born in America, but my family, both sides were born in Guyana. So when he says this, I'm like, dog, when my family came here, one, it was off the merit of my grandfather, and two, bro, there was really no help. There was no help. The help was getting into America, and then after that, there you go. You're done. That's all you get. You get thrown into a better economy. That's all the help you get. That's all we got. Now, these people is different. Bro, they're getting thrown in with support that's coming from the taxpayers. Back when we came over, bro, those white men would have never gave anything to black people, bro. If we had the same white men in government when we when we came over, oh my God, bro, these immigrants would be homeless. Like that. Actually, they'd have been pushed out. They'd have been like, no, we can't even keep you here because we're not going to support you with taxpayer money. But that's what this administration is doing for some reason. So it is a bit strange. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Because this all happened under Biden. Like, black people are suffering in their own neighborhood because of Biden. Like, bro, come on now, guys. Come on. What Trump say? Let's try something new.
Immigration in this country.
Let's try something new, guys.
The Republican Party, because they have no ideas, they like to pit people against one another.
Yes. Oh, and that's one other point. Appreciate you, Christian, for saying that. Because, bro, all these other Caribbean countries, bro, we came over there with already Christian beliefs. We already had the Christian belief in us. These Haitians are coming in with no Christian beliefs. Like, when Mexicans came into the border, most of Mexico was Catholic, Christians, basically. So when they come here, it's easy for them to assimilate. It's easy for them to understand our way of life because they want to live a Christian lifestyle the same way we do. When you bring over other races, we don't know what they practice. We don't know what they do. We don't know how they live, how they were living back in their day. We don't even know what type of diseases they're coming over with, and we're just letting them in.
So they use people coming here from other countries that they have intentionally destabilized, right? Why are these people coming to America? And it's Democrats too. Under Democratic administrations, U.S. foreign policy causes people from Central and South America to come here because we have destabilized their countries.
Brother, so that's not a good excuse. Just because we destabilize their country doesn't mean we need to bring them in. First off, we need to smack our government in the head and be like, stop it. Stop destabilizing their country. Let them eat off their own resources. And then we're going to send them back to there so they can have some type of economy. Like, not taking them in. That does nothing for these countries, bro. Like, immigration does not solve no problems. Not for it low-key destroys our country and it just further wrecks the other country.
Intentionally go all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Okay, this is nothing new. So the idea that we are saying, oh, they're bringing all these people here. Well, if America minded its own business and wouldn't go stirring up shit in other people's countries, those people would probably stay where they were at.
Thoughts on immigration?
Yeah. So as it relates to immigration, I think it's a really funny subject, right? The very folks that say year over year that they can't give resources, right, or reparations and everything else to Black Americans in all the blue cities across America, they found a way to give immigrants, illegal immigrants, hundreds of millions of dollars in cities like Chicago. Most recently in states like California, the state Senate passed a bill to grant 0% interest loans, zero down, plus $150,000, I believe it's a tax credit.
Whoa.
The reality in this situation is that there is a group of folks that under the Biden-Harris administration have been brought into this country to offset the vote. And that is a legitimate issue for Black Americans today, and we need to deal with it. And oh, by the way, in the process of that, we've got undocumented terrorists that have come into this country that have put our nation at risk. And I have a legitimate issue with that.
Biggest people on the terrorist watch list are white supremacists.
Well, I want to piggyback
every
off
terrorist agency.
Wait, what did he say? Well, hold on, dog. The biggest terrorist in the group is white supremacists. So if I look at the FBI most wanted list, I'm gonna find a bunch of white supremacists. Are you sure about that, G? Like, are you sure? Cause, like, let's be real. I don't think I'm gonna find a whole bunch of white supremacists. If anything, I think I'm gonna find a whole lot of cartel members and triad members, and actually, like I am now. Yeah, I'm finding mostly Hispanic people on the FBI most wanted list, and one African man. Wait, hold on. Is that a white guy? Oh, yeah, there is one white guy on there. But no, to be honest with you, it would be mostly the Mexicans who are the... Well, if you want to go for the most wanted list, like the most dangerous threat to America, yeah, it's kind of filled up with, the cartel members. Let's keep it real. They're the ones who are importing the fentanyl and all that. I don't think it's whites. No. Trust me. Like, the biggest threat to this nation is not white supremacy because, well, let's be real. It's not. It's just not, dog. Like, what do whites care thinking that they're the best? What does that honestly, how does that honestly hurt us? Like, no, let's be real. Like, it may hurt your feelings, but how does it hurt us? Like, think about it. There's black supremacists. We don't talk about them. Asians have a supremacy problem. We don't talk about them. And it don't hurt us. So to say white supremacists is the number one problem or a leading terrorist group, no. The leading terrorist group would be, well, the cartel.
In the United States says that the biggest threat to America is white supremacists, actually.
Okay, well, to piggyback off that, just discussing the resources, as a former foster child, had I aged out, I would have only left the orphanage with a garbage bag full of clothes, and they would have given me a $700 check a month and told me good luck. So I think that it's disgusting, a spit in the face to kids like me who didn't ask to be born into the situations that we were born into, that we would never be able to qualify for the resources that are literally being given to somebody else. Additionally, let's talk about the reasoning why they're coming over here, because we keep talking about the type of people that are coming over here. Let's look about the reasoning why they're even letting them coming over here. Black people are no longer fearing that the Republicans are going to take away our right to vote. These voter suppression arguments are no longer working. Yet if you can threaten an entire demographic of people, it's at 10 million now. We can only imagine what it would be in the next 4 years if this woman wins this office. In which case, now if you tell that large of a demographic of people that they will lose all of their benefits and their citizenship if they were to vote for a Republican, you can guarantee that you now have a new loyal voting base. So in the same way that black people have been prioritized last, every time we're prioritized first during campaign season, prioritized last during an administration. We're going to go see us be kicked out of the room. We won't even be on the list once these migrants have come over here. There's already 10 million. There's only 49 million of us here.
Facts,
There's
Kingsy,
only 49 million of us here. Yep. And then if you think about the voter apathy that exists within the black community, there's not 49 million of us voting. But you can guarantee every single one of those illegals who can get out there and vote is gonna go vote.
When we have more time,
they're not U.S. citizens.
Yeah. They're literally voting in our elections.
The left is working to make them citizens.
Not even just make them citizens. They're getting IDs as soon as they get over here.
Yeah, they are getting IDs and Social
They're
Security.
illegals, and they're voting in our elections.
They can't be one or the other. They gotta be. Are they illegal or not?
Should they be citizens or not? So should they be citizens or not?
We're talking about.
Well, they got over here in a way what we consider illegally. They kind of went to the border, and this is how the border agents explained it. When they went to the border, they lock them up, and then they release them into America, and then they give them a court date and said they're supposed to come back. You heard what I said? Yes. The Border Patrol is going to go to the immigrants, arrest them, bring them back to the station, let them out into America with a court date, and expect them to come back. Like, yeah, that's what they're doing.
About this election right now.
The should is what's driving the vote. The should is what's driving the vote.
Michaela, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Foster care in which state?
California. The same California that is giving $150,000
can I ask you
to
this?
illegal migrants. But if my sister, who just aged out of foster care 2 years ago, she wasn't
Hold on, wait a minute. I agree
Border
with
Patrol
black Americans and the money first, but I do want to ask you this because, again, this is where this Republican talking point always gets me confused. You were aged out at what age?
No, I didn't age out. I was adopted. Okay. I'm talking about the people who don't.
Okay, but when you said wasn't born, didn't ask to be born in the situation they were.
Yeah, like my mom was on crack and my dad was in and out of prison.
Right.
That's not a situation I should have to pay for yet for whatever reason. But the government didn't feel bad enough for me to give me or my family those resources yet, and then leave immigrants.
Ma'am.
That's a point.
Ma'am. I just want to know, when I hear the Republican talking point,
okay, hold on, let's go back.
A minute. I agree with giving black Americans and the money first, but I do want to ask you this, because, again, this is where this Republican talking point always gets me confused. You were aged out at what age?
No, I didn't age out. I was adopted. Okay. I'm talking about the people who don't.
Okay, but when you said wasn't born, didn't ask to be born in the situation they were.
Yeah, like my mom was on crack and my dad was in and out of prison. Right. That's not a situation I should have to pay for yet for whatever reason. That's right, but the government didn't feel bad enough for me to give me or my family those resources yet, and then leave immigrants.
Ma'am.
That's a point.
Ma'am.
Great point.
I just want to know, when I hear the Republican talking point, I just want to know when they say, pull your...
And shout out to Robert Downs, man. I appreciate you and what you are doing here, man. Voices matter. Bro, and hey, man, I appreciate you for supporting the show and all that good stuff, bro. Hey, appreciate you, Robert, bro, because, bro, I got to get it out there, man. Because, look, I just can't keep letting people think that, look, this is how all black people think. This is how we all think. Because it's starting to get like that. And they're starting to think we're all liberal. Like, and now I'm a black conservative, low-key looking at the situation right now, and I'm just like, come on now. Can we at least debate or argue in good faith? And, like, here's the problem. They can't deny the fact that the Trump supporters have great points. You cannot deny the fact when these Trump supporters speak, they're making sense, and they don't like it. Like, and then they got to speak out, get angry, bro. You see how, bro, wide his eyes were? He was like, and if you would read your Bible more, I'm like, oh, my God. And I said it more manly with more bass in my voice than he did. So, man, look, it's kind of crazy what these liberals are kind of doing to these conservative blacks. They're basically letting us know that conservative blacks don't have a voice in, well, our own community. It'd be like that, though. Don't matter.
Yourself about the bootstraps.
I did
when
that.
They say, I didn't.
They're going to hear me regardless.
I'm talking about to people that didn't, who were born, because we talked about this before, people that were born with incarcerated parents, people that are born in destitute situations, because your brother would always say, you have an opportunity to get, I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying, what do you say to the Republican that says that despite the situation you were born in, because none of that is systematic, none of it matters, I'm giving the opposing side, none of it matters, pull yourself about a bootstrap, you're not a victim, don't be a victim, don't cry. What is your answer to a lot of conservatives that say, regardless of the situation you were born in, that you didn't ask to be born in, I'm not talking about immigration, I'm talking about black Americans. Yeah. What is your answer to that? Because Republicans say all the time to stop being a victim and to pull yourself about a bootstrap.
What the hell? How did you? Hold on here. She moved the goalposts. We were talking about immigration, and she made a great point. Like, yo, I was an orphan and I didn't get nothing. Look, if America should be helping anybody, shouldn't I get like a 9,000 EBT card, free housing, and all this support? Like, shouldn't I get that? And instead of validating her point and being like, you're right, the Biden administration did cause this, they are low-key disrespecting black America, so you're right. Instead of saying that, she's like, so don't you have that pick you up by the bootstrap mentality? I'm like, what did that have to do with immigration? Then she'd be like, oh, I want to talk about this. I'm like, but that has nothing to do with policies.
Believe that once you stop believing that everything is set up against you and that you can't win,
but just a minute ago you said it was set up against you because they didn't ask to be born in the situation.
They were asked to be born into this situation, yet for whatever reason they're not offered the same resources that somebody else who also.
The conservatives say pull yourself up by the bootstrap. They say don't worry about resources. Conservatives say don't worry about resources. They say don't worry about it, regardless if the parent was born on crack.
Democrats being in power, ma'am. Again, we're talking about context.
I'm not.
Yeah, on God, though. That's what I'm saying, is like the context of the conversation you're taking out of proportion. She does have that pick yourself by the bootstrap mentality. She's just saying that, yo, I did that. She did that. She picked herself by the bootstraps and she became successful. She did that. But she's saying that, well, in comparison to how these immigrants are getting it, to how we're getting it, isn't that a little like, you know, and that slap in the face to the black community? The fact that, you know, we had hella children that were born in terrible positions and shit, the government ain't helped them like they're helping these people. I mean, shouldn't that rub you the wrong way? Why are you trying to change it? Oh, well, shouldn't you have that pick yourself out of bootstrap mentality? Basically, she's saying you're supposed to have that mentality so you can't make that argument. Like, what are you saying?
No, we're talking about context. Okay. Conservatives say all the time.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps,
including this brother.
Correct.
Pull yourself.
Okay.
So I'm saying regardless
if the
of whose
Democrats
daddy
are
was
willing
on
to
crack,
help these people pull themselves up by the
I didn't
bootstraps,
ask you that.
they should be willing to help others pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
That's right, but I didn't ask you that.
Now, this isn't a Republican talking point because Republicans wouldn't give it to anybody.
Right, I know.
Okay, so there's that. I came up, I didn't have to get any of that, and yet I walked into a six-figure job. I dropped out of college and did the same thing, raising my dollar by myself. I don't believe that telling yourself things aren't going to work out for me or, oh my God, I have messed up. I'm just, once you believe that is your life.
I'm not talking about belief.
You tell yourself, I'm going to win. I'm going to win.
We got that, but I'm just saying people that born, I would just want to see your opinion on people that born into
I went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University and they told me to find a way or make one. So anybody born in any situation will do just that.
Then there's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are being allocated resources and we have people who need those resources. We're talking about the fact that we're not prioritizing American citizens.
No, but that wasn't what I asked you.
We're not prioritizing American citizens.
You heard me say at the beginning of what I said that I believe it should go to American citizens first. I said that, ma'am.
Okay.
I just asked you
I'm
what
pointing out the fact that when we're talking about immigration, we understand that Republicans would not give out.
Yeah, but that's what the original conversation. Like, you just completely moved the goalposts to something completely different. And it doesn't have nothing to do with the presidential election. It doesn't have nothing to do with the debate or policy. So what does she bring that up for?
That's
all I wanted you to say.
My point is Democrats are only
That's
proposing
all I
that these
asked you.
resources go to a
Sis.
certain group, and black people need to pay
Ma'am.
attention to the fact that y'all won't get those
Ma'am.
resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am.
I'm right. Move
We
on.
said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is
I just
right.
want to know.
Black
I
people
want
won't
to
get
know.
those resources, and therefore
Ma'am.
you should not vote for a Democrat who would
Ma'am.
allow foster children,
Ma'am.
veterans who lost limbs fighting for this
Ma'am.
country, veterans like you and this man
Right,
here,
right.
not get those
We agree.
resources.
Let's go.
We agree. Girl,
No, you don't.
relax.
So if Democrats
We
are
agree.
giving them
Girl,
out,
you
then
don't
let them
relax.
get. Then why haven't Democrats given them to black
I'm
people?
not talking about no Democrats. I asked
Why
what was
haven't
your
they given them to black
Is
people?
something wrong with her?
No, I'm asking.
Sweetheart, you were just talking over her and you diverted the entire conversation. There's nothing wrong with her. Like, sweetheart, I see why everybody in the comments are roasting her ass. That was like, what's wrong with this host? What's wrong? Like, you're trying to sell something and it's not selling too well. Like, to the point where every conservative damn near got to overtalk you because you're overtalking them. And they're just tired and they're seeing how you did the old dude. Like, old girl done set the tone for how everybody's about to have to talk over her. You moved the goalposts with her argument. She honed down on, bro, ain't that crazy? She didn't want to admit that she was right about immigration. So instead, she moved the goalposts to pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Something wrong with her.
Y'all see how she's trying to switch it to make it seem like something's wrong with me when all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that black people are not being prioritized in the administration. Therefore, when you ask about what Republicans are doing for us, what are Democrats doing for y'all? Besides putting you last.
Nobody asked you that.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you that. What I'm asking you now is to let young
John, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
I'm asking you to share your thoughts. I didn't ask you any of that. Girl, relax.
I had to put it in there because I saw where you were trying to pigeonhole it, and I wasn't
ask you a
going
simple question. You the one that was at Chick-fil-A, wasn't you?
No, yeah, it was me.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
What does that make? Does that prove a point of some sort?
No, I just want to know.
Seems
It's a simple
That's
question.
what I'm saying. It's like, you're like, bro, she's just trying to win. She's just trying to have the last remark, the last catty remark to make herself feel like she wins. This woman has zero maturity.
What's wrong with it?
Zero maturity. And this is the black woman that they prop up and put in y'all faces. So these black women can act just the same and think it's acceptable. This is the one they put up in y'all faces.
Let her finish. Girl, relax.
No, but people try to associate Chick-fil-A and
No, I asked because I wanted to make sure there was one because you was in there.
But I was also the girl who spoke at the rally.
And so was I.
I'm also the girl who mobilizes HBCU students every year. I'm also the one who provides internships and jobs to these kids. So stop acting like all I am is a girl that showed up at Chick-fil-A. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
As I had the opportunity to meet a president and it happened to be at Chick-fil-A, I'm going. I'm how many people in this room have met a president? Okay, can you let him care where you meet him at? Because if I ran into Trump at a gas station, I would have been just as excited. So trying to act like
you ride for Trump, we get it. We get it. You gonna be in the White House?
High offices, and therefore, yes, I would be honored to meet a president, regardless of who it is. Go ahead.
The people are literally asking you to stop so we can move on.
They didn't ask you to stop, but
it's my show, man. See, that's the problem. You keep the business. Oh my God.
But you cut her off. You pretty much moved the goalpost. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. She deserved to go off. She deserves to go off, bro. I promise you, she deserved to go off. I'm gonna tell you why she deserved to go off. Because, when not only did you move the argument because she was right, she's 100% right. It is disrespectful for the gun to be giving out these handouts. And it's the fact that it's the Democratic Party who haven't done nothing for the black community in, like bro said, 60 years. Like, why did she try to hide that? Like, bro, if you're black and you're looking at this is what they do to us. This is how they try to make us think. This is how they try to make it frame it. If they release the clips of this, they're going to try to make her look like she's crazy. I guarantee it. She was being respectful until she was being disrespectful.
God. Moderator, we shouldn't be going back and forth with the moderator. But
no, actually you should.
It's okay. Actually you should. I didn't see that happen at the debate, but okay.
All right, there's some things we can all align on.
No, respectfully.
She literally made a great point on immigration. Then she pivoted to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Then when she says, what does that got to do with it? She wants to, okay, now I want to move over here. I'm like, all right, nah. Like I said, she's trying to low-key hush their side up.
Respectfully, right? when I first got the opportunity to talk, I spoke on the concept of us, being passionate about what we believe in our beliefs. And the simplest assessment that I could come up with tonight from being back in the green room, watching y'all before I got out here, I realized we all get riled up for both of these parties, right? And the only time I seen everybody calm down and all that shit subside where we could talk like adults and actually listen is when we all realized ain't nobody really did shit for us when it comes to reparations. And that's when y'all all got quiet. When you start, when y'all start talking about these immigrants getting it all.
Bro, reparations, dog. Is that we're still what y'all spitting on, bro? Y'all really still going for reparations? Like, come on now, guys. Come on. Like, and I ain't gonna lie. I done spoke out against reparations many times, and I'm just like, look, we don't have a real plan to get reparations. Reparations, at the end, we don't even have a number that we want for it. I'm gonna be real with you. If you ask the black community, you're going to have like 4 or 5 different numbers that are honestly insurmountable. It's going to be in the trillions somewhere. Some people are going to cap to you and tell you that, oh, only a certain number of people are going to say it's only going to be 800 billion. And look what California said to that. Look what California said to that 800 billion for reparations. They said, hell nah.
Getting reparations,
so
really, basically.
He don't believe in reparations.
But okay, even if he doesn't, I noticed the room, the air changed, the climate immediately, it got stiff for a second, like, like, oh, now everybody agree. Ain't neither side done any of that for any of us.
But he don't believe in reparations.
So I started to realize that this is where the divisiveness comes in at. At that one moment when we all came to this point of realizing that ain't nobody got no reparations in this room. Nobody look like us. But it don't matter if he believe in it or not. I noticed that everybody in the room was like, oh shit. Everybody else did, but we ain't. So all we...
Bro, nobody's thinking... Oh, my goodness. Why do they let this man talk? What? Why do they let this man talk? Bro, Trump actually did say he was against race-based reparations. I ain't even gonna lie. Trump is not for reparations. Bro, no Republican is for reparations. If you ask Republicans, like... Bro, 90% of them are against reparations and 10% of them are. Not saying that they don't exist, but you got to understand that if anybody who says they're trying to give you guys reparations, they are lying. They're lying to you. I guarantee it's going to be the last thing that Kamala pulls out and tells the black community if she feels like she's losing too much. Oh, I'm going to get y'all reparations and all this good stuff, and I hope y'all don't fall for it. Because if you know economics, you know government, reparations would never be passed through. You think a bunch of white people is going to force every citizen in America to pay reparations? Come on now. Oh, and for you to go ahead and take land from, American citizens so, we can give y'all your own land and all that? Like, come on now. Does that really sound like something that would be passed through Congress? Or that the citizens would even allow? Like,
all getting played on either side of it.
But Jock, they never say, no, this is important, because this is why we keep, me and this brother dance and do this all the time.
I see.
We do this all the time. I don't have no problem saying Democrats ain't shit, Republicans ain't shit. My problem with a lot of, because I'm independent, but my problem with a lot of Republicans is they never acknowledge that Republicans also, that's not what he's saying.
Okay.
They're not saying that, oh, we don't get what we want from either party. They're saying, which is why I invited them here to stomp down hard for Trump. They are saying that the Republican Party is better. They are saying that Trump is better. They are saying, this brother said, Democrats, I admit, Democrats don't do what they should do. It's usually on this side of the aisle where they actually say, we don't do both sides. On this side, you do not get acknowledgement on what Republicans don't do. You heard the brother proud to say, ain't nobody gonna get to be in the big house but baby, that ain't no flex. That ain't no flex. Ain't nobody trying to be in the house. I'm in the field all day. So the point...
Oh my, see, you could tell she's hurt. She's hurt. She's obviously hurt by the whole argument because she couldn't debate immigration on her and she got cooked. I'm in the field. I'm in the field all day. I'm like, okay, sweetheart, okay.
So what I'm saying is that's not true. When we talk about reparations, it'll get just back turned up.
Yeah,
so I know you want a peaceful, calm environment, but unfortunately, that's just not where we at.
It's not about peaceful and calm, but I sat here and I watched when y'all started talking about the immigrants and people, no matter what side you on, red or blue, everybody felt the same. It was the same context of like saying, all these people getting it, we still ain't got.
Yeah.
So then wait,
but then once
that point got pushed off of this little table right here, off the little coffee table. It dissipated. Shit went right back up because it went back to going to opposing side.
I know, but Jack, what I'm trying to tell you is,
because I think there's some things
he
that
believes that Republicans, they believe that Republicans is the way.
And it's safe to say that you're much further leaning left than I am. Absolutely. I think there are some things that he and I can agree to, and that's where we need to go in our community. We don't have to agree on all things, but we do need to start finding some alignment. And so here's where I would say, that brother just sat here and told me that his parents immigrated to this country and took no handouts. And my father immigrated to this country and did the same.
Bro, there was no handouts to be taken. There was none. The only opportunity handed out, the only handout was you being in this country. There you go. There's your handout. Ta-da. Welcome to America.
And fast food didn't exist for my mother. They both went to HBCUs. They both worked 2 jobs. They both put themselves through school. And they both did a great job with me, my 2 sisters, bought homes, multiple homes, sold them and built wealth. And it sounds like to me, your parents, who had the same work ethic, turned you into a relatively, I'm gonna use the word successful or productive citizen in this country. Sure. And so, irregardless of whether I'm on the left or I'm in the right, we got to do a better job. What this brother was saying earlier, finding some alignment. Well, hold on. Finding some alignment, because if this young lady goes to the White House, or Ted's you the one, and you go into the White House, and the rest of us don't.
Be clear about that.
And the rest of us don't.
Clear.
What we need in our community is black Americans that are going to represent the concerns of all black Americans, not just those on the left or the right or independent.
Brother, the problem that we have every single time is you never talk about what the Republicans do wrong. And I'm going to keep pressing that all the time, because although he said, yes, his parents picked.
Well, okay, why don't you bring up the argument? Tell us what you think the Republicans do wrong. You're asking them to go against their own side is ridiculous. Why don't you provide an argument? Like, you're lazy. Like, that's lazy as hell. Like, what are you talking about? You tell me, oh, you're not telling us anything wrong about your side. I'm like, why would they talk bad about their own side if their job is to convert black people to conservatism, to the Trump side? You're like, okay, bro, if this is what you want, then why don't you go ahead and make your own argument? Like, go ahead and write out, where's your written arguments? Where's you saying, oh, well, I don't agree about this. What you think about that? Like, what's going on here?
Picked himself about a bootstrap. He's also a Democrat that believes in a safety net to give the resources to those who are born in difficult situations. And we've had this conversation. No, but we've had this conversation, and we ain't gonna sit up here and play no game because Young Jock got y'all feeling good about, oh man, we all aligned. We all aligned that we're not getting what we're supposed to get. But brother, each and every time you still don't say that Republicans do something wrong. That's all.
Then provide the argument. If I'm standing on my side, why would I provide a negative perspective? If you're over here debating, why don't you give me the argument? Like, why are you asking me to speak bad on my side? If you don't like that, then tell me something you disagree with. Why I gotta talk down on my own side? Why would I do that? Like, let's be real. When you're debating which team is better, why would you talk bad about your team in a debate? Like, what? If you can't provide an argument, just say that. Like, you just did lazy hosting.
Listen, can I jump in?
I done got beat up in this debate all night. Yeah, man.
Ask a question. Actually, a couple of things. One, I think it's a huge misnomer that all immigrants are Latinx, right? I think it's a lot of people of African descent also make up a large part of the immigrant population, just like you just said and just like he's already spoken to. So we are actually helping our own people when we help immigrants, right? Because if we're all people of African descent, don't we all agree? We're all people of African descent. So we are helping our people when we help people of African descent that are coming from Belize, that are coming from Honduras, that are coming from Jamaica, that are coming from DR, that are coming from Haiti. Those are people of African descent. So those are our people that we're helping.
I mean, bro, I hear the sentiment, and I could tell he's a man with a big heart, but dog, you're not understanding how it's destroying our country. You're not understanding the economics of this, and you're just talking out of emotion right now. Like, these are our people, and we should love them all, and all that good stuff. And I'm like, no. We got to be real here. No, we cannot help all these immigrants. It's impossible. Like, bro, like, you coming up there and saying all this, like, bro, can you talk about how it would help economically? How is bringing all these immigrants going to help economically? You can't say jobs because it takes jobs away from the American people. So, well, what is he really trying to say here? Besides
I think
stout
they
emotions.
use that they say that it's Latinx people to kind of confuse the issue, but when you really look at the numbers, there's just as many people of African descent that are immigrating into this country as well. The other thing I want to talk about though is
wait, hold on, brother. Wait, because he's really about to go in. So I want to show, just like for sake of Young Jock, because he really wants us to be kumbaya. Y'all agree that y'all pulled up by the bootstraps? My parents wasn't no immigrants. I'm just saying y'all agree. But this is where the disagreement comes into play. So it's cool, they agree, but baby, the disagreement comes into play when we start talking about the solution. And it is okay to have a disagreement in the solution. We don't have to just stay right here and say, we just agree to agree. No, when we start talking about the solution, that's where you're gonna see these brothers got different opinion. He gonna say, oh hell no, we not helping no immigrants over black Americans. And this brother gonna say, no, there still needs to be, if he's a true Democrat, a safety net for those who cannot. Democrat socialists to the highest level. So
I need to actually look up that border bill that the Democrats said, oh, they voted away, because no. The border bill was actually a foreign aid bill disguised as a border bill. So you actually got to read the border bill. Please, go read it. I promise you. You'll be surprised the way they was divvying up that money. You're going to look at it and be like, hold on, $60 billion to Ukraine? Like, what does this have to do with a border? They gave a little bit, though, a little bit. Just because they gave, a small portion of the money to a border, they put the border bill, but really it was the Ukrainian bill.
That no, this is where the solution, the difference of opinion comes in the solution, and that is what politics is all about. So even though y'all agree that y'all pulled up by the bootstraps, what is your position when it comes to immigration and helping immigrants? Let's just put it on the table. We already know y'all disagree. I just want to hear his opinion.
Great. Yeah, okay. So a couple of things. I think one, weaponizing local law enforcement to enforce immigration policy is wrong, right? Because we know that harkens back to the times where you had to check your freedom papers. The fact of the matter is that whether you're black from Jamaica or you black.
Why are you bringing up an emotional argument for immigrants? These people are not respecting the law. Do y'all not know that? They're acting like they're here, they're doing hard work, they're not committing no crimes or car crashes. Like, if that was the case, nobody would say anything, to be honest. We'd probably complain about the number, but we'd be like, you know what? Maybe we need to slow down. Good people, but maybe we can slow down a little bit. Nah, bro, we're saying not only do we need to slow down, but these people aren't following our rules. Like, it's crazy what we're letting them get away with, man. And shout out Kingsy, man. Appreciate the support, big dog. Like the video while y'all watching, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, make sure to like that video. Just double tap that screen for me.
Black from Atlanta or you black from Mississippi, when that police officer pulls your ass over, they see a black person. They don't care if you got an accent or not. And so we are stronger together than we are opposed to one another. So I have been on record.
Yeah, like bro he's speaking very ignorantly because he doesn't know the full situation of, well, the immigration problem. He doesn't know the full situation. So he's speaking ignorantly and he's thinking that, oh, this is just white supremacists being racist against people. And it's like, no, it's white people making actually a pretty good point. They've been making pretty good points for a while, but it's kind of now that we kind of want to hear him out for some reason.
Not supporting the laws that the Republicans have been trying to pass here in the state of Georgia around making sure that local law enforcement can jail undocumented people in the city of Atlanta and across the state of Georgia. Because we want to talk about money. Do you know how much money it costs to run these detention centers? Do you know how much money it costs to enforce these immigration laws on people who oftentimes, the idea that people are coming to this country knowing their papers are not legit and they're going to come here and commit all these crimes is just ridiculous. Most immigrants are trying to what? Stay under the radar. If your parents are immigrants, what they say?
Some of them are actually being dumped out of the prisons. So, like I said, it's not like the visa program where we got a background. They did some type of service. They have some type of like useful skill. We're not doing that no more. All right? This is not what's being done. So we're kind of just letting them in and not knowing their background, not knowing where they came from. We don't know if they just a regular citizen from Haiti or they came out the jails of Haiti. We don't know. This is the problem.
Listen, we just work. We're not trying to cause no waves. We're not saying none of that because they already know they already are coming to an extra level of scrutiny just because they have that undocumented status by their name. And so I believe that we're throwing good money over good by spending so much money on enforcing these immigration laws instead of creating a pathway for people to have citizenship.
Bruh.
Right. So that's where so that's all I'm saying, Jack. It can be nice and quiet for just that 1-2 minutes.
Now, where's your
once we start
disagreement?
getting into the solution, that's where things
I'm
have
gonna wait till I have the floor. And
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We talk about the resources and what it takes to run a penitentiary, right? Okay, that's absurd. Democrats said that $5 billion was too much to build a wall. And today we spent $450 billion on policies and programs and resources for migrants. And that pretty much sums it up. That pretty much sums it up.
You're talking about the wall.
We can't complain about
You're talking
resources.
about the wall.
I don't hear.
What? The wall that wasn't even built? The wall that they tore down and sold? What are you talking about, bro? The wall. You're talking about the wall. No, he's talking about the billions that we spend from taxpayer money. You saying the wall is disingenuous because the wall wasn't even fully constructed. The pieces of the wall were sold. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Programs and resources for migrants. And that pretty much sums it up. That pretty much sums it up.
You're talking about the
wall. We can't complain about resources.
You're talking about the wall.
I don't hear anybody in our community challenging Clayton County right now relative to the budget as it relates to the prison.
Oh,
damn.
Me.
Nobody.
I went after Victor Hill. I went after Victor Hill.
Can I have the floor?
Yeah, please.
I get it that liberal politicians are arguing the point.
But let's not say nobody. The brother just said he did.
The people of these communities. Yeah. The people of these communities not arguing about what's invested in the prison, but liberals will argue about the resources.
We acknowledge it because you used the absolute. You said nobody. The brother said he did though.
They want to argue. Yeah, okay. They want to argue about the resources that are needed in all types of programs, prisons, schools, et cetera, so forth and so on. But the people down on the ground, the people in Pittman Park, and the dudes off Techwood, they not complaining. They not talking about how the prison is funded. The reality is that money flows back into liberal politicians' pockets, et cetera, so forth and so on, and it never makes it into improvements in these facilities. It doesn't make it into these kids' pockets, et cetera, so forth and so on. And that's from somebody who grew up in a blue city as an institutional Democrat.
So,
relax, brother.
If you know,
let him respond.
Hold on. So they can clap for you, but they can't clap for none of them? Okay.
Let him respond.
Georgia,
let him respond because he said nobody was challenging it and you said you did. So let's respond.
One, to know me, Michaela knows this because she sees me down at City Hall.
Literally, this is my first time meeting you. Everybody
She sees me down at City Hall. She sees me down at Fulton County Commission, the largest county in the state of Georgia. They just tried to propose a $2 billion jail. And you know who came down there to speak about it? It was black folks. Old black folks, young black folks who knew that if we were spending $2 billion on a new jail, that meant that they were going to defund senior services. That means that they were going to defund our hospitals. And guess what? This isn't a partisan issue because many of the people who proposed this were Democrats. They got D's by their name, and I had smoke for them too. Because if you're going to stand against black people, no matter what party you're affiliated with, you're going to have a problem with me.
So why did you say nobody?
The Democrats that are pushing for the construction of a prison in this state are the same Democrats that benefit from the set-asides associated with the construction of that prison.
Sir, hold on, wait a minute.
The reality
is
he's
going.
to push money into building prisons because it makes money.
Stop talking loud. We got to acknowledge his brother works because you...
Shut up. Like, God damn it, shut up. You let him make a point. You let the liberals make a point, but you can't let the conservatives make a point. Like, we got to respect this brother's work. It's like, bro, come on now.
You sat up here and said nobody said anything, and this brother just told you that he did.
No, he's saying that black folks went down and lobbied for the funds for a prison, and I'm saying nobody from Techwood, nobody from Clayton County, none of the people in those communities are asking.
You said nobody
against
black politicians in the Democrat Party that got construction companies and so forth are pushing for the set aside associated with that construction. I'm in the construction.
Brother, you ain't the only one doing the work.
It's about running that money right back through the circle.
Let him. I just want to know why the brother can't acknowledge your work.
Listen.
Okay.
Why he can't acknowledge your work though?
Listen. The problem is
weird, brother.
The problem is because I understand that we sometimes speak in absolute and hyperbole, right? I know that was a S.A.T. word I dropped down. It's cool. But sometimes we gotta speak, we just gotta speak to the facts and we gotta speak to the rock.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that our mayor, our city council, our county commission, who are Democrats and Republicans, pushed to expand the prison industrial complex in the city of Atlanta. That was bipartisan support, right?
Fair.
In Georgia, who has been mostly under Republican leadership, and even when it was Democrats, they were Dixiecrats, so they were Republicans for all intents and purposes. They have governed a budget where we spend $8.1 billion on police, prisons, and jails. We don't spend that on public education. We don't spend that on hospitals. We don't spend that on money and direct assistance to black communities. We don't.
Okay.
And it's a Republican issue too.
Right.
And so, to your point, Tez, this is sometimes my frustration with Trumpers, with Republicans, with conservatives, because I can call out the folks on the left.
That's right.
In fact, I spend more time fighting people on the left than I do on the right, because they're trying to out-Republican y'all.
That's right.
But the problem that I have with conservatives is that, particularly black conservatives, is we can see as plain as day, Republicans will push an agenda that is not for black people, and y'all will say, y'all will come up with every rhyme, reason.
Cool. Which one? Please explain which policy, which agenda that's not for us. Like, no. Like, can somebody hold them to that point, please? Like, all right, cool. Which one? I'd like to hear it.
An excuse, tap dance, this, that, and the third. Come
Oh,
on.
here we go.
Sometimes we got to call a thing.
The current vice president said that she would not support a policy that was directed toward black Americans, but she gave $25 to $50 million to Asian Americans.
You and I have a little
Come on.
We talk.
Come on.
Yes.
Am I one of them black Republicans?
You are not one of those black Republicans. You are not. Which is why we go to lunch together.
We got to switch. Right. Okay. So Young Jock. So to make Young Jock happy, we got two people where they agree. All we saying is, because Young Jock really wants y'all to be happy.
I'm taking it.
We got to move to the immunity. We got to move on. All I'm saying is, we want to see that, or at least me, more in the public space. You know, the
I mean, I'm not as public
Sometimes
as
you have
everybody.
less than a second to make
we're talking about right now,
a life and death
I mean, I haven't.
decision. And sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake.
They're going to be indemnified. We're going to pay them for their costs, for their lawyers. You know, policemen have to go, in many cases, hire a lawyer to protect themselves. The state doesn't want to get involved. These people are crazy. When they're standing there in front of a department store that's being looted by 400, mostly kids, but other people too, and they want to do something so badly, but they're told not to because there's liability. They're not going to have any more liability. They're going to do their job. They're going to stop it.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll drink your face.
Okay.
Whoa.
Pot! Can drop the pot! Who else in the apartment?
I mean, the Sonia Massey one. Come on now, y'all oversold it. Come on now, that's not.
Speak on behalf of
news division.
Based on what the sister said, the comments about grabbing about the
looking
beat.
at some of the allegations made back and forth, doing fact checks and all that on ABCnews.com.
I got y'all.
Empowerment, ma'am. Again, we're talking about context.
We're talking about context.
Okay.
Conservatives say all the time.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps,
including this
correct?
brother.
Correct.
Pull yourself.
Okay.
So I'm saying, regardless
if the
of whose
Democrats
daddy
are
was
willing
on
to
fire,
help these people pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Immunity. Want to get your thoughts on it. Let's go with Jock first.
We're going to pay them for their costs, for their lawyers. You know, policemen have to go, in many cases, hire a lawyer to protect themselves. The state doesn't want to get involved. These people are crazy. When they're standing there in front of a department store that's being looted by 400, mostly kids, but other people too, and they want to do something so badly, but they're told not to because there's liability. They're not going to have any more liability. They're going to do their job. They're going to stop it.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
better not. I swear to God, I'll drink.
Yeah, that man was deranged. That man was pretty deranged. Can't even lie. This was the worst situation. But hey, Now, when Trump means he's going to give police officers immunity, or is pretty much what y'all stating there, he doesn't mean like, oh, they can just go around taking lives and all that. Well, he's pretty much saying that, well, if officers have, roughed a couple people up, they chased them down after they stole something, put them on the ground, they broke something, and boom, now they're in their court getting sued, and their police department don't even give them no representation. It's like, bro, a lot of police officers are like, bro, if they're going to do this, I'm quitting. Like, you tell me I'm going to pull up, try to do my job, and I might go to jail or get sued? Like, it ain't worth it no more. So, in situations like this, is not what he's talking about. Now, y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, but trust me, nobody's talking about situations as gruesome as this.
Who else is in the apartment? Nobody. My girlfriend's dead. Tell him we have 11015. What? How's your girlfriend? I don't know. Inside? Yeah, somebody.
Oh, I remember this. Shout out to Power Stroke Syndicate, man, with the $1.99, bro. We appreciate the support, big dog. Just didn't have too much to say. Just wanted to throw up the ones. Appreciate you, man. But, oh, my God. Wasn't this the Breonna Taylor one, I believe? Was this Breonna Taylor? Because the Breonna Taylor one was some BS. Like, that man over there, like, if this was Breonna Taylor, because it looked like Breonna Taylor, because I remember the setup of the house and all that good stuff. And for some reason, Breonna Taylor stepped out and was shooting at the police because, she thought they was robbers, while this man literally ran behind her. Yes, the man literally ran behind his woman. Yeah.
Banging at the door and she said, who is it? And they just started shooting. No.
I COVID, man. I can't breathe.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please listen to me.
Is he going to jail?
Listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
Can we figure out what's going on?
Hold on. Now, you got to be fair. If you're going to play the body cam, please play the body cam of where they put bro in the car, and he said, I can't breathe in the car. If we want to be fair, I would like to see that body cam footage, too, because it is out there. Yeah, the body cam footage of them putting George Floyd in the car. He's saying, I can't breathe. Let me out the car. Put me on the ground. Bro asks for everything. Believe it or not.
We've had this conversation before. I know the Republican talking point is they already got immunity. But Donald Trump has said that he believes in federal immunity. Want to get your thoughts on it? Let's go with Jock first, because we don't have y'all take over and then Jock be sitting up in one. So let him be the cooler head.
Man, look,
on immunity.
So you know me, like I'm a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't get in a lot of trouble at all, for real. And I've seen police handle me so crazy sometimes, man. And it's just like they got to be held accountable. Just immunity because, you've gone through an academy, you made a pledge, you know what I'm saying, an oath to the community and to be a protector and a servant of the community. That's great. I do applaud good policing. I applaud it. Like, I'm going to keep it 100. Some people are just, some people need governing, period, point blank. A lot of us do. Let's just be for real.
Time.
So when you get a good police officer, it's one thing. But when you, like myself, I've been in a situation where I've been snatched out the car, thrown right into these two right here, these two, this come from handcuffs. They were looking for my brother. I had nothing to do with nothing going on. I still got thrown into the bushes. I got beat up. And they tried to put a murder charge on me, right? Then they found out they had the wrong person. I still got charged with criminal disorderly conduct, which is a criminal charge. So I can't even go and get my firearm, my carry concealed permit, because at that point, I can now, but at that point, because it was a criminal charge. But I'm like, hey, so what's gonna happen? Y'all just beat me up and did all this to me. I still didn't get the charge taken away. I think sometimes, man, you gotta understand, when we start talking about immunity, Stephen A., he was just talking about Tyreek Hill. And he said, well, all you had to do was roll up the window. He told you don't roll the window down. No, he told you don't roll the window, just leave the window down. Well, you looking at it on that end, but when you getting pulled over and the level of aggression is already here before, because they ain't treating you like
be right back,
treat
chat.
Tom.
Be right back.
Hi, hey, great. Just want to let you know you're speeding. I was like, you get your license. No, I ain't think they like walking up, their hand on the gun off rip. I just told a story today. tell me I'm lying. I told the doctor, I told the police officer, hey man, listen, y'all got the wrong car that just sped past you. I said, I'm having twins right now. He said, you having twins? Right now? I said, yeah, I got to get there. He said, hold on. He called backup. Backup came. I'm like, well, I'll call backup. Snatched me out of the car. Boom, threw me in handcuffs. I said, hey, why you doing that? You know what he said? Because I'm trying to save your life. Because I know that you have a real serious situation right now. I don't want you to do anything that goes against what we're telling you because you feel in your mind, you got to get to this hospital to see your twins be born and something happened, I kill you right on the side of the expressway. And I looked at him like, damn, I ain't never see it like that. But, you know what I'm saying? Because it put me in a position where I was like, hey, man, but I wasn't finna do nothing to get killed or I'm going to jail. Y'all told me I'm going to jail. He told me I was going to jail.
So the other officer didn't anything ever happen to him? Would they ever?
No, and that police officer, he apologized. He said, man, I'm sorry. He didn't have to slam you on the ground like that. I dusted you off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to see if you're gonna stand. So I want to see if you're gonna stand on business because I know your position with this. So let's run back what you said last time as far as
I'm pro. Look,
you pro what?
The police departments across America, the vast majority of the stops that happen on a day-to-day basis are correct. They are just, and vast majority of police officers across America are doing a great job in our communities and in others. That said, these incidents that you see, like the one we just saw that they just had on the screen, are an issue, okay? They are an issue, but they are exceptions, not the rule. And so what we need, in my opinion, as a young black Republican, and I disagree with a lot of other Republicans on this topic, is we need a right-sized approach to deal with these exceptions and hold those folks accountable.
Do you say the exception?
That's my opinion.
So what I asked you earlier about disproportion?
I said we need a better psychological test for the police. That would save a lot of people's lives. A better psycho evaluation, because some of these police are getting in just off the strength that they're active and they can pay attention. We need to do a real psychological test, or maybe put them in simulations or something to where we know what they might do in certain situations. Like we need to be able to pick out those people who we can tell, like, yeah, this guy's temperament is not good. I can see him doing this. Or yeah, that psycho eval, yeah, bro look like the type to jump off the hinge. He can't go. But we can take him to the army though.
You know how you like to give the disproportionate facts on abortion?
Yeah, I went crazy.
Would you say that disproportionately, the exceptions that you're talking about, do they disproportionately affect black men?
I would say that black men are pulled over more disproportionately stereotyped and pulled over than any other group of folks in America. Yes, I would. I would. We're not running from the truth.
No. But earlier you wouldn't. When I asked you that, remember we talked about that for like over an hour. You didn't want to.
As it related to the other topic, we're probably not going to ever agree. But I would agree with you in this topic.
Yeah, sure. Just because, again, in the spirit of being bipartisan. It is not a Democrat or Republican issue, because the Democrats
have supported.
I don't believe so, because I see every day how Democratic officials empower the police, make excuses for the police, don't prosecute the police.
Both sides.
Right? On both sides.
Both sides.
That's bipartisan. So, like, I don't want to make this a Republican or Democrat issue, because it is an American problem. It is America's problem. It is for both political parties. Because right now, folks has smoked with Fani Willis for a variety of reasons, right? Around this Trump case. That actually wasn't my issue with her.
But can
my issue with D.A. Willis was all of the police officers who we know have killed people, like Deacon Holloman, a 62-year-old deacon in the city of Atlanta.
But before we move to goalposts, I want to know. Okay, but before we move to goalposts, I still want to know the answer to my question about Trump and saying that he would grant immunity to all police officers. What's your position on that?
I think that immunity granted to all police officers, it impacts, relative to protecting police and allowing them to do their jobs. I think that serves 98 or 99%.
So should it be immunity for all federal police officers? Yes or no?
With it until we have a right-sized approach to dealing with
the So the answer is yes.
But we need to deal with the exceptions in our community.
We got it, but the answer is yes.
We left out the part of the interview though where he also said there would be an ethics board.
I want to get a clear answer. I want to get a clear answer before you start talking.
Your question is yes.
Yes, you support. That's all I wanted to get to know.
Bro.
Yeah.
But I also said don't get.
I support it too. Like, bro, if they can't do their job, they're just gonna quit. We're not gonna have a police. It's like, one, yeah, he did say there's going to be an ethics board with it. That means, like, yo, we're not just going to let them do whatever they want. We're going to provide them certain protections, probably from being sued and low-key from certain things that happen out there in the field. So that's really what they're talking about. And I know y'all may not like that explanation, but yes, the ethics board, which we're going to have to find out eventually, like, hey, we ain't going to know how it really is going to look until Trump's in office. And he puts out this ethics board, and we read down the list, and we be like, okay, he's wilding, or all right, that's reasonable. They just can't kill nobody without reasonable suspicion or reasonable threat. It's like, come on now. Take a psych evaluation. There's certain things we can do.
He hung up on listen to everything I said. Okay. What I said was we need to find a right-sized approach for the exceptions. The vast majority of police officers need to be able to do their job free of red tape and other types of shenanigans that would distract from this conversation today. Taking place in places like California.
What's an exception?
We just saw a young lady got shot in her house.
In the house,
right? We have to do something about that.
Do you make an exception for that?
Can we agree that there needs to be something that deals with that? I'm saying we need to. But what I'm saying is, but that is a very small. But what about the minute, less than 1%?
Speaking of
on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, now you're speaking of the minute percentage, right?
Yeah, man.
What about the stories that we don't see? That we haven't seen, that have been, nobody ever talked about it.
It's like it or not, bro, we need them. Like it or not, we need police. So the whole immunity thing is the best thing we can do to keep these people employed. Because I'm going to be real with you, if things are going the way they are now, bro, they're going to quit. It's not going to be worth the freedom. If like, oh, I'm pretty much going to jail for doing my job. Like, come on now. And there are instances where, yes, police do step completely out of line, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have something for them. We're not, bro, there's no way they're just going to come out and say, oh, yeah, well, even if police body somebody, just, them just rolling around, just going to pull up, pop a black guy, and roll it off into the street. Like, no, that's not what they're saying. And I just don't understand where, like, y'all get this extremism about it. Like, come on. Really? We're just going to let police ride around, pop people, and they got immunity. They can do whatever they want. They can kick in your doors and run in your house. Like, nah, nah.
But people in the city realize nobody want to talk about it, so they feel like they defeated. They can't win.
It's part of the reason why I wasn't a supporter of the Obama 21st Policing Act. Because why? Body cameras so we can just see black folks getting killed on camera in HD? Yeah. They don't stop anybody from getting killed.
Well, I disagree.
Well, I think that would have.
What actually stops people from being killed is a complete transformation of how we do public safety.
But we need more of us who's not going to be officers.
But we need
our kids.
Body cameras.
I didn't say that's the solution, but that's a part of. We got to have body cams. But we got, because that's the only way we're gonna see what needs to be said.
My challenge with that, Tez, is that we have allowed black politicians and white to pacify us and say, okay, well, we got you body cameras. That reform
we still got more work to do.
And more black people have been killed. More black people have been killed by the police.
Revolt is a Diddy-owned platform. No Diddy.
But brother, we still got more work to do, but we absolutely need the body cam. I just want to be clear about that. We got more work to do. We got more work to do. We need a right-side approach. I just want to know, yes or no, do you support President Trump saying immunity for all police officers? It's just a simple yes or no. We can get to the solution on what it should be. Let's just talk about what it is.
Come on,
Do you support?
I want to point out that we cut the clip short because it's not just automatic federal immunity for all officers in which all these officers can run and cause chaos in our streets. There will still be a board that they have to answer to. There will still be cases like Sonia Massey, which they talked about at that conference as well, in which he said those policemen were not doing their job and those policemen would not be eligible for federal immunity. So like what you said, we need to keep the body cameras because when we're talking about does this officer deserve immunity for whatever complaint has been risen against him, we can check the camera for that. And then once we've checked this footage, now we can take it to this board.
But do you agree they should get immunity, yes or no? I just want to know that.
And the way that it was
depending on the evidence. Depending on the evidence, yes. Depending on what I'm looking at the body cam. Okay, let's say an officer does unalive somebody. Now, if we're looking at the body cam and we're seeing that, oh man, this guy was a threat. He was about to kill somebody. He was about to unalive somebody else. He was about to hurt a child. He was about to be a threat to society. He was about to unalive somebody. And he takes him out. Okay, you got it. You got immunity, big dog. You was doing what you had to do. You had to take somebody's life. Sucks. But Hey, he gets immunity. Now, if we just see this dude acting unhinged, jumping over, like, bro, doing some crazy stuff and just popping people, then we're like, yeah, bro, you're going to jail. You're going under the jail.
The way I'm talking about federal immunity and the way that it's presented with the board, not automatic, just let cops do whatever they want, which is what the narrative is. The actual policy is federal immunity, but there will be a process like there is with everything.
I just wanted to know
that I can deal with that. Yes. And wait, when we talk, because John asked about what was an example.
Yeah, if you're talking about Trump's complete policy, then yeah, I agree with it. But if you're talking about, do you agree with immunity for police? Like, okay, but under the guidelines of what Trump said, or just y'all just asking me, do you agree with immunity for police? Because of course, nah. But under the guidelines of, well, as long as there's an ethics committee that can sit there, look at it, and be like, yeah, you're either going to jail or yeah, you were just doing your job, so you get immunity. So just in case, anybody tries to sue you or come after you, you're good.
You think about, you see children walking around with black eyes and bloody clothes, and cops can't do anything about it because nobody said anything, or the child has not admitted that anything has happened to them. At that point, if that cop decides to break the law to save the life of a child, I am with that. And yes, they can be immune for whatever kidnapping charge the parent tries to rise against them for taking the child because you were not taking care of said child. And again, I've seen how horrible some parents are to their children.
That also should go before a board too. A police officer at that particular time is not judge, jury, and executor.
I will say
that's the
this,
problem.
Though,
and so let's be clear about that.
Yeah, but it's in the heat of the moment, and that's the problem with the police situations. It's in the heat of a moment, and a life can be lost within a second. I promise you. You with these guns, yes, you can take a life within a second. So that's how crazy these situations are. When you look at the situation, and then, yeah, let's be real. If you're the police officer and you see some dude about to harm a kid, what you gonna do? You can either tackle him. You might not make it in time. What's your best option? Take him out the game. A situation like that, yeah, you should get immunity for it. But let's just say, I don't know, you think somebody, you're suspicious of somebody, and it turns out not to be true, and you shot them, and they end up dying. Yeah, you might have to go in front of the board and go ahead and get some jail time.
Let's be clear about that. Yes. It's not up to because the same way we're saying that it should go before a board and decide immunity, not immunity. Also in the case of child abuse as well, I was a guardian ad litem in Florida for a very long time. It's not up to the police officer to be judge, jury, and executor. So when you say, oh, I believe you can do whatever because you hurt that child and you should be, we don't know.
No, he should be able to take the child.
But because that's judge, jury, and executor.
And that's if the child has a black eye and blood stains coming out the bottom of
and if a black man get dragged out of the car and get shot because he didn't let the window down fast enough, you say that should go before a board, so let's go that before a board.
It's going to go before a board.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, that will go before a board. Yes, your exact example will go before a board. If a cop pulls up on body cam, drag bro out, say, oh, you didn't pull those stuff out, just reach in there, grab him out, and shoot him. Yeah, he's done. He's done. Like, yeah, we can all agree that doesn't deserve any type of protection under the law.
Black man kills anybody, he's going to have to go before a jury as well. So I'm not understanding.
We want to make one comment.
Anybody,
either we going before the board or we not.
I want to clarify
either we going before the board or we giving immunity or we're not. I don't want no police being judge, jury, and executed. That's why we got the courts.
This policy that Trump is talking about, one, only extends to federal officers. The vast majority of police brutality cases take place with state and local police. So if you want to see safer streets where you are not concerned about having the type of run-ins with the police that many black people can talk about, it's a state and local issue, right? The president
hold on, brother. Wait a minute. Hold up. We know that, but let's hold on.
No, everybody does not know that.
I know that, but no.
You know that.
No, but we got to be clear though. When you're talking about something from the federal level, that can also trickle down to the state and the local.
Sure.
So let's not because when the sisters over here, thank you. No. Anytime. No. When you have somebody saying, let's get full immunity, let's be rougher with them, rough them up. That's a problem. Now you don't have to be this clear. You say you don't want body cam. I ain't never heard no progressive.
No, I said, hold on.
Yeah.
Also, what I said was body cameras are not enough.
Right.
If you're not going to prosecute the people.
Yeah, no.
If you're not going to prosecute the people.
Goddamn, what else? Like, what else do you need? Like, body cams is not enough. Like, what else do we need? I thought that was just the best thing we could. What, do we need more body cams? Do we need a body cam in a 360 division or something? Like, what's going on here? What else do we need?
when we see someone black being killed on film, what the fuck is the point of the body cam?
But we still need it, though. No, I want the same page, but the way you...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro. If we see a black person killed on film, what is the point of a body cam? I mean, well, isn't that the... What? Hold on, wait, what? Well, isn't the whole point of the body cam is to catch the black woman being unalived on film? Yes, that's the whole point of the body cam, dog. Yes.
You presented it the first time.
Well, that's why I wanted to clarify.
No, that's what clarification is all about. Let's give some closing thoughts from our guests because we got to wrap up. We've been going way too long. Closing thoughts tonight on the actual debate.
Yeah, on the
Harris and Trump.
Yeah, on the actual debate. There's a person with a record of positive economic growth in this country. There's a person with a record that demonstrates that his foreign policy works. And then there is a person that you just don't know where they stand. And over the last 3 or 4 years, that person and their counterpart hadn't produced any positive outcomes for our community, nor the larger American community. And I would just urge that everybody use logic rather than allowing the media or the news to manipulate them on the basis of their emotion. That's my comment.
Okay. Closing thoughts.
All right. Well, I would hope that from this debate, everybody everybody was able to really identify what issues each candidate stands on. I think that, it's important that everybody does their due research after this, after especially hearing what the candidates had to say and which side they stand on and where the moderators said they flipped beforehand and what exactly was going on. I think the thing that everybody should take away from tonight is that context is important, whether it was what we talked about or what they were talking about on stage. But you heard, Kamala Harris keep mentioning Project 2025, and that has nothing to do with Trump. And so, you heard her say, you heard her keep skipping over the border issue, and she kept skipping over the migrant issue. And that should speak very loud to especially Black America as to why she can't speak to why you guys haven't been prioritized during her administration. You also heard her admit to how much she has been able to do, or heard her claim all that she has done during this administration. So I would ask that you all please stop making excuses for all the things that she hasn't done by saying she couldn't do them because she was the vice president. And so taking away from this debate, yes, I hope that you guys would think of all of those things and, vote based off the facts and not, just somebody else's feelings.
Yeah, y'all Republicans love talking about
appreciate
facts
you,
over
man.
feelings. Go ahead.
Shout out to Power Stroke Syndicate, man.
I think people have to make a sound decision about what makes sense. Fact of the matter is that we have someone that's running for president who has multiple charges. He staged one of the first insurrections in the United States in modern history. If you were to engage in all of these criminal activity, would you be allowed to even have a job, much less run for president of the United States? We got to stop making
Constitutionally, yeah, he can. He can do it. Yes, he can. Oh, yes, he can.
Politics in America.
Actually, let's be real. The founding fathers were insurrectionists, so, hey. But no, Trump didn't run no insurrection. Trust me, that would be more of a riot. And like I said, if we can call BLM a riot, then we can go ahead and call January 6th a riot as well.
A reality TV show. Trump has ushered that in. Also on the other side, VP Harris absolutely has problems. Has she done everything right? No. Are there policies that we don't agree with her on? Yes. And when we're looking for stability, when we're looking for policy that we can actually disseminate, talk about, debate, she's the only one up there that's actually offered solid policies.
What?
She's the only one up there that has actually offered a plan. Trump is
nobody interrupt them. See, this is what y'all got to stop that. Because nobody interrupted them when they gave their closing thoughts. Stop that. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about in the back. This is why don't nobody have respect for y'all. Let this brother finish.
Yo, then again, this is why nobody got respect for y'all is wild. Like, yo, she's wilding. I don't even think anybody said nothing loud or anything. I think she's just saying that out of pocket at this point. Like, she's damn near trying to do anything to frame them as bad. That's the framing. She wants people to see black conservatives as bad people, as disrespectful people, just like the liberal blacks. Ain't that crazy, bro? Ain't that crazy? They try to make us look disrespectful, but they're the ones who come with the real disrespect every time.
what he's saying.
That doesn't
Nobody did. No, it's important. We got to point that out. Nobody was hemming and hawing. No, nobody. Everybody let y'all get y'all Republican talking points on. So let him finish.
Bro, and hold on. Why are you putting what somebody else said in the back on them is crazy? Like, just because somebody in the crowd talked, why are you putting that on them and saying, yeah, that's why y'all look so bad? I'm like, what the hell they do?
No, I'm telling you to let him. I'm asking you to let him finish. No, but I'm asking you to let him.
Hey, you to get my lies out. Nah, fact.
We get it.
She said she explained her policies. Bro, she dipped. The first question was a dip of explaining her policies. We know it. They got it. Y'all Kamala supporters got it. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all sit in y'all delusion at this point.
We get it, sir.
We got
sir.
it. They got your clock.
Sir.
They got your clock. We got it.
It's fine.
Let him finish.
It's fine. Listen, I don't have to. I recognize that some people have gotten into the snake oil of Donald Trump and has fallen underneath his spell. I have not. Some of us still have independent voices. With that being said, this election cycle, there's more on the ballot.
Bro's a politician. He says, I have an independent voice. Is hilarious, bro. Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, though. All right. You know, most politicians always align with a party, so your voice is usually unified within your party. Like, you know, but hey, okay. Hey, man, Kingsley, though, I'm weak. Shout out Kingsley for the super chat, man. He said, imagine dating that. Yeah, low key. Like, old girl here, you couldn't finish no sentences with her. Like, bro, you couldn't win no argument. And if you win an argument, she's divorcing you. Like, off rip. Like, you're done. You will see divorce papers. The day you win an argument with this woman right here, you will see divorce papers. Or she's just going to leave you.
Than just president
Appreciate
of the
you,
United
Kingsley.
States. Here in the city of Atlanta, we have to elect a new at-large city council member. I'm looking forward to winning that election on November 5th because local government matters. Many of the things that we talked about, that we were so passionate about, state and local government is the ones that actually make the decision on whether those things move forward or not. And so I remind people to be educated, to seek the facts. Don't just get one side of it. Find out all of the information and make an informed decision. And don't forget about
Nah, for real. I advise you to do the same. Like, low-key, look at both left-leaning news, look at both liberal and conservative news, and also look at those in the middle. And you can find that out from, like, certain apps nowadays. Like, nowadays, you have apps that are AI sourced where you can source out all the news publications. Who's in the center, who's far left, and who's conservative. If you do decent research on that, you're going to get a pretty sound answer. You're going to start seeing things match up. Or everybody just saying the same thing. There is times that happens.
Local offices on the ballot.
Good stuff. Young Jock, give us the, we all agree.
Hey, here it is, man. It is. You have to inform yourself. Like you say, knowledge is power. Yeah. Hey, look, man, you got to be steadfast on trying to gain as much knowledge as you can. And we got, 50-something days before this election? 56 days.
And it's so crazy. They're so condescending. It's crazy. Then they want to call them disrespectful, but they've been getting hit with nothing but condescending and narcissism the entire time from these people. Oh, man.
Keep it 100 with you. I hear these policies on both sides, and I know 100% of the policy is never going to go through on either side, of red or blue. It's not. It's just, it never happens that way. It has never happened that way, and I don't think it will ever happen that way. But I will say that I'm sitting here, I'm listening to this debate. I hear one person who comes off as if they are, they have a warm spot for the country. They're pushing policies that they say, hey, this is going to make for a better economy. It's going to be better for the American people. Then I hear another person that says, hey, look, yeah, man, whatever you say, I'm going to do what I want to do because people fear me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm saying somebody fear me, but somebody else said people fear me. They know I ain't going to let certain things happen.
They put Young Jock on a panel to talk about the presidential debate, bro. I mean, yo. Yeah, I know, right? That is Young Jock. Me and Chet is going down.
I think that some Americans feel
Young
like,
Jock,
hey,
that Young
this
Jock.
man is willing to be a bully on our behalf. And hey, whatever you believe in, whatever you stand up for, hey, man,
I'm sorry.
Continue to educate yourself on that because the freedoms that we are, that are... The freedoms that are on the table right now today may not be there 4 years from now. No matter what, either side to go. But I will say this, look, y'all quit getting caught up in this, because I still feel like on both sides, more needs to be done for the people that look like me. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Amen.
Yes.
Well, my closing thoughts is, once again, I want to thank Revolt. I want to thank you guys for coming. You're always welcome. No other network, no other network, platform, or otherwise have dared to take a live show, live, raw, unedited, with far right, far left, independent, in the middle. I ask that the comments be flow tonight, just so y'all know. That means the trolls, the bots, they calling me everything but a child of God. They talking about you, they talking about us, they doing all.
No. They're just talking about you. No, sweetheart. They're just talking about you, sadly.
That we have got to grow up and understand.
I know you wish
that politics is messy. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's things that we're passionate about. It's not designed for everybody to feel good. It's designed for this sister to say, I love my God and this is what it is and I'm gonna stand on business. And it's okay for this sister over here to say, no, that's not how God works. We have got to be okay with having these uncomfortable conversations. We are never gonna get anywhere if we don't have the conversation. So if nothing else, I guarantee that somebody heard something today that made them say, you know what, she got a point. Or you know what, he got a point. And if they don't, it did something to prick your conscience. And I stand on that. And I may not be the best moderator or the best host or the best this or the best that Ted you got. But at the end of the day, I believe in what we're doing, and I believe in what we're doing here. And until MSNBC and CNN and all the rest of them invite black folks in the room like this, we still did a better job than anybody could have done, because you actually have...
The narcissism in that statement is crazy. Like CNN and all them bring black folks in here. Like, I'm like, well, let's be real. They can't do that because, one, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I see this whole side over here don't know what they're talking about. That's the problem. And bro's a politician, so he should know just a little bit more. He's a little bit more knowledgeable, but even he's a little bit too far left leaning on things. Young Jock, he's just, well, a rapper, celebrity, really. He's really a celebrity. He was on Love and Hip Hop and all that good stuff. And her, well, she's been in media for a little bit, so I don't even know what her problem was. Obviously, she's overly left leaning, but hey, I guess that is I guess that's a balanced debate to her.
Have voice here at Revolt. Right. So I want to thank Revolt for that. I want to thank you for always coming and always disagreeing or not agreeing or whatever it is.
Right.
Like, hey,
agreeing to disagree.
Agreeing to disagree. And you're welcome back. And I hope we can continue to have this conversation. And I know all my folks, it's so, but this end day, this is what it is. And I know we got
Jerry Springer political.
That's right. That's right.
Weak as hell. Jerry Springer, man. Most unprofessional debate coverage I've ever watched. The co-host or the guest couldn't get a word in because the host kept cutting everyone off. Man, we called to fire the host. The host is silly. It is like, man, the host is everything I never want to see in black women characterized. Oh, man. Yeah, they're not being a little bit too nice like on her, bro. They're kind of going off. She turned into a mommy talking down on the women who wanted to speak the truth and the black men who want to stand up. Yep. Pretty much. The condescending tone and all. It sucks, but it is what it is, though. That's what they hit us with. But let's take it on to the next part of the show. Man, our man Biden and Kamala stepped out. Let's hear what they got to say.
And black excellence is American excellence. Let me close with this. The Psalms teach us, and I quote,
oh, God.
I've been young and now I'm old, which is true. And yet, I have not seen the righteous forsaken. I have not seen the righteous forsaken. In 1971, as a 28-year-old kid, I decided to run for the United States Senate because of segregation in my city, my state.
What?
13 black members of Congress came together then to establish the Congressional Black Caucus. That same year, a founding member of the CBC began exploring the historic run for president. I knew Shirley Chisholm. I served with her. She was righteous. She planted bushes full of mustard seed of faith. And in the course of the last 50 years, I've seen those seeds weather storm and strife and blossom into something amazing. I've served as vice president of the first black president and former CBC member. I am president alongside the first black president and former CBC member. And God willing, she'll become the first woman of the President of the United States of America.
Okay.
And Hakeem will become the first black Speaker of the House.
Okay, they're riding on identity politics. Let's go.
But folks, we have work to do. So my challenge to you is to keep the faith and do the work. Because we know faith without works is dead. In this moment, I think of what Shirley said. She said, quote, freedom is an endless horizon, and there are many roads that lead to it. The last 4 years, I've been honored to stand by a true partner who's helped us lead to the horizon of freedom. A journey where character and public life still matters in America. Kamala Harris meets the highest standards of character. I've served with her. I know her. I trust her. And I'll be proud to stand in the steps of the United States Capitol and watch her take the oath of office as President of the United States of America.
Oh, he's selling it.
Please welcome Kamala Harris for the people.
All right. Of course she gets the Beyonce song.
Good evening, CBC. Can we please give it up for our President Joe Biden? Oh, it's good to be back. Please have a seat, everyone. Please have a seat. I have to say,
Oh, man.
it is so good to be back. And let me just say about Joe Biden, I have. Hello to all my Divine Nine brothers and sisters, and my sorors. And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters. But let me just talk for a moment about Joe Biden. It has been the honor of my lifetime to serve as his vice president. And I'll tell you, I have worked very closely with him, whether we are in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. Joe Biden is always fighting for the American people. And I do know that history will show what we here all know. He has been one of the most transformative presidents in American history.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he definitely transformed a lot of things. Yeah, the border, our economy. Not in a good way, but he transformed it, though.
And so I thank you, Joe Biden, for everything you are and everything you have yet to do. And thank you also to all the leaders of CBC, Chair Stephen Horsford, CBCF Chair Terry Sewell, and ALC co-chairs Troy Carter and Lucy McBath, for your years of service to CBC and to our nation. I also want to thank Hakeem Jeffries, who will be the next Speaker of the House. Yes, he will. And nobody knows how to quote Biggie better than Hakeem. Assistant Leader Joe Neguse, thank you for your leadership. And I cannot.
So, hold on. The House Speaker is going to be black so he can quote Biggie? Hey, yo, the disrespect is real, but oh my God, it's in her face, though. Oh, man, you got to love it. Yeah, he's going to be up there and he's going to quote Biggie for y'all. I'm like, y'all niggas is hilarious, bro. Okay. The race tactics at this point is like A1. It's like I'm almost like flabbergasted. I'm lost for words. I ain't even gonna lie.
Further, without thanking the great Congressman Jim Clyburn. So tonight I must also speak the names of incredible leaders who were my friends, who were our friends, and with whom I had the honor of closely working over the years. Representatives Eddie Bernice Johnson, Donald Payne Jr., and Sheila Jackson Lee. And I know that their work will live on through ours. And finally, to all the members of the CBC, over the years, we have worked so closely together on so many important issues, from addressing the crisis of maternal mortality, to expanding access to capital for small businesses, to defending the sacred freedom to vote. And I thank you, CBC, always for that partnership and your leadership as a proud, I'm going to say still, member of CBC. So for more than half a century, everyone here knows the Congressional Black Caucus has served as the conscience of the Congress and of our nation. And as a proud former CBC member, I know firsthand America relies on the leaders in this room, not only for a conscience, but for a vision. The CBC has always had a vision for the future of our nation, a future where we can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
Oh, hell no. We can see what is possible, and unburdened by what has... No way she said that, bro.
For the future of our nation.
Hold on.
A future where we can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
We can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been. Yes, bro. Unburdened by what has been. We can see what is possible, unburdened for what has been. Now, did that make any sense? I mean, talk about word salad.
For a vision.
Let's one more time.
The CBC has always had a vision for the future of our nation. A future where we can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been. A future where we fulfill the promise of America. A promise of freedom, opportunity, and justice, not just for some, but for all. And today, that vision, our vision, is under profound threat. While we move and fight to move our nation forward toward a brighter future, Donald Trump and his extremist allies intend to take our nation backward. They will give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations, cut Social Security and Medicare, and end the Affordable Care Act, which the CBC fought so hard to pass. But we are not going back. We are not going back.
Here we go, man. Donald Trump never said he'd end Affordable Health Care Act.
No,
okay.
We will chart a new way forward. We
have to let her
together have a vision of a future for our country where no person has to go broke just because they got sick. We have a vision that understands then the importance of strengthening the Affordable Care Act. Remember, they tried to name it Obamacare thinking people wouldn't like it. People love it. He wants to talk about people love it. People love the ACA. Even though the former president tried almost 60 times to get rid of it, it is intact, helping hundreds of millions of people in our country. We have a vision of our country where we understand
a lot of people didn't like Obamacare.
that the access to health care should not...
If you did, Obamacare came out of the Heritage Foundation. Obama got it from them. So, you know, where's Project 2025 come from? The Heritage Foundation. But, you know, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump, you know, according to them.
Be a privilege
according
just
to them,
those
of course.
who can afford it. It
I
should
believe
be a
it.
right. And that is why together we cap the cost of prescription drugs for our seniors, and we'll cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. We actually have a plan for health care, not just concepts of a plan. Concepts. We have a vision of a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. And so we will build, yes, what I call an opportunity economy, so every person has an opportunity to own a home, start a business, and build intergenerational wealth, including my plan to help create 25 million new small businesses in the next 4 years. Ours is a vision of a future where we protect our most fundamental freedoms, including the freedom to vote, which is why we will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. And we will continue to fight for the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government telling her what to do. Because we here know one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government should not be telling her what to do. And CBC, when you pass a bill to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
Sure.
So to continue to realize our vision for the future of our nation, we have some hard work ahead of us. But I know we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom and for the future. And now, the baton is in our hands. I truly believe that America is ready to turn the page on the politics of division and hate. And to do it, our nation is counting on the leadership in this room. So to everyone here, no matter what state or district you live in or represent, I thank you in advance for your work, the work you have done and will continue to do to register people to vote, and to get folks to the polls. Each of us has a job to do. And the bottom line is, we know what we stand for, and that's why we know what we fight for. And when the CBC fights, we win. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you, everybody.
You gotta love the lazy speeches sometimes, man. You just gotta love the lazy speeches. Well, I don't know. Some reason y'all accept it. Y'all accept it. But let's never forget. Let's never forget. And I forgot who recommended this to me. I think it was Christian. It's either Christian or somebody recommended this. But let's end off on this.
Mr. Biasi.
He was stacking charges and rearranging things just to make the case is nonsense. It's a perversion of justice. To make him a convict, a convicted felon. It affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon. It's a travesty of justice, the mockery of justice.
Let me be clear about something on the outset. The person you'll be watching today is not the bad guy here. Unwitting whistleblower? Yeah. Nicholas Biasi is the Chief of Public Affairs for the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York. Something you may be familiar with, and the most prominent federal trial court in America.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that back?
Who is speaking is, what's his name? They said it right there.
No.
No, Nicholas Bassey or yeah, Chief Public Affairs. Yes, Chief of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice.
In fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that backfire?
Sure did. And the whole thing is disgusting. They're just out to get him. And that's why I like the surging of the police. It's a perversion of justice. He was stacking charges and rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense. State levels are Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly. They're so obsessed with getting him.
Who is they?
Alvin Bragg, yeah, who I've known for 15 years. He used to work in my office. Before he decided to prosecute Trump, did you know who he was? You do now. I'm not sure what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA of New York County. So Alvin's very ambitious. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this until him.
Mr. Biasi is just saying the quiet part out loud. The part that unfortunately matters. Lawfare? Yes. Why? Because Biasi openly says so. The ones from Alvin Bragg are a particular perversion of justice. How do you know? Because Biasi says so, and he's known him for 15 years. Election interference? At this point, is there any doubt?
Actual felonies? Because I was pretty sure that
he was stacking charges and rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this until him. And that's why I like the surging of the police. It's a perversion of justice.
those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
And that was that Alvin Bragg's choice to do that? Or why?
Because Alvin's very ambitious.
What do you mean?
So he's pretty much saying how they framed the whole thing. Like, they're saying, yeah, we just trumped up the charges on them. We're low-key trying to get him on everything. Like, he really said it's a perversion of justice. It's like they're really going after him because it's all political. There's really no enforcing justice in it. It was all a political move. Kangaroo courts, really.
Something. I don't know what. Mayor. I'm not sure what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA of New York County. So this is like before he decided to prosecute Trump. Did you know who he was? You do now.
What was the point of even doing it then?
To make him a convict.
To make him what?
A convicted felon.
What if he can still run for presidency and...
Yeah, but it affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon.
I was trying to count who else, but I was like, I wonder how many are against him. I think it's called lawfare.
Yes.
That's what I've gathered from that.
That is what they call it.
So how does this even happen? How can it happen? How can the local and state level courts try President Trump with more ease and less red tape than the federal courts? That doesn't seem right to the uninitiated, but you are the uninitiated. Good thing Biasi isn't.
I mean, at the federal level where I work, there is a 90-day rule where you can't make any decisions on cases that are going to affect an election. That rule does not apply at the state level because the state levels are Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly. They're so obsessed with getting him.
Who is they? How do they get away with that?
It's
I'm weak when the chief of public affairs, yo, when he sits there and struggles to be like, bro, I don't even know how they're getting this off. It's like, bro, what do you mean you're supposed to be the main person who knows it, basically? Like, you got to have, like, an idea. He's like, nah, I don't even know how they doing it. They just getting it off.
State level and the federal level are like night and day. It's hard to explain, but like there are so many more rules in the federal level, and they're like the threshold for a crime is so much higher. Like I said, it like the state level is like the Wild West of law. It's like very, for lack of a better term, unregulated. Less checks and balances.
And I know what you're thinking. I thought it too. Well, you're talking about one case or two or 19. Hey, if it's local, you break the rules. You pay the piper, or even if you don't, if you're President Trump, pay the piper. But there are other cases in the country. There are a lot of them. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? What about the Georgia electoral interference case, right, that Donald Trump is currently having to face under Fani Willis, right, the Fulton County District Attorney, who was caught having an affair with the special prosecutor Nathan Wade.
So is that the strategy against Trump? Just hit him with all the legal battles all across, like the Fani Willis, Georgia stuff? What do you think about that case?
It's a travesty of justice. To put it mildly, it's a mockery of justice. She is a joke. Like her and her boyfriend she was seeing, the whole thing is disgusting. Out to get him.
I guess at this point, the only argument left is why should you trust anything Biasi has to say? Let me make the case. Biasi is an expert. He has firsthand knowledge and experience. And despite how the media is going to try and spin this, he is kind of an authoritative voice as the chief of public affairs for the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York. This man knows the players, he knows the game, and he knows that it is rigged.
Who's that? Alvin Bragg?
Yeah, who I've known for 15 years. He used to work in my office. So here's us, here's Alvin, he's county level, and he decided to do the case.
Yeah.
And Michael Cohen is their star witness who we prosecuted.
Okay.
You know who he is? That guy's psycho. He calls me. And he records
what does he want with you?
He's like, he's got this thick New York accent. He's like, is this Nicholas Biaggi, the chief of public affairs? And I'm like, yeah, this is me. He's like, this is Michael Cohen. Why won't you guys, vacate my conviction? And I'm like, I can't really, I'm not authorized to speak to victims or defendants, which I thought was a pretty good answer, not knowing who was calling. And he was like, well, who can he speak to? And I was like, the media. And he goes, I have one of the biggest podcasts in New York. But I kind of didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you're still a defendant, and that precludes me from talking to you. Of course. I've known Alvin for 15 years.
Like, how well do you know him?
I used to work with him for 10 years.
You guys had dinner together and hung out?
No, we weren't best friends.
Okay.
But I mean, like, if I see him, we're like, I mean, we know each other really well, but like, do I respect what he's doing? No. Is he a nice guy?
What about like the other people you work with? Do they know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, do I respect what he's doing? No, of course not. But he's still a nice guy, though. Yeah, that's a bit wild. It's a bit wild, though. Anyway, though, I'm about to go ahead and time out on this one, man. It's been a good one. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. This is Set with S.E.T Media, and I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Oh, man. Tired.